Hello, hello, everyone. Just trying to see right now. All right, yeah, we're live. We're running good. I just got done setting up the YouTube here, and as soon as Bundy here, who's just said hello, jumped into the chat, YouTube pops up a thing saying, "Hey, did you know that your moderation is set to none? Moderation keeps us all safe." And I'm just sitting here remembering Monica Geller from Friends, where she goes, "Bulls help us control the fun." It's like, what the frick? Can y'all just stop with the bull crap already? Just long enough so that we can all have a little bit of fun. By the way, we are currently doing some modifications to the tank. And I think one of my problems here is the barrels are too heavy. I think I'm going to have to take them from heavy armor to light armor. It'll still give them some protection, but it will also significantly lighten up the tank a little bit more, and it won't have this wonky effect every time it turns the turret. It won't frick the whole system out. Then on top of that, it's the question of missiles, and we're gonna have to build some kind of custom missile launcher on the side of this thing so that I can launch custom missiles of some type. How all that's going to work, I don't know. But we'll be able to launch some missiles at aerial targets, I think. That'll help with the whole mammoth look. That, or we'll just slap a giant thing on the side and throw a couple rocket launchers on there and just call it a day. I don't know. But let's get started here because I think the best thing to do is start. Whoops, why is that gold? Oh, I know why that's gold. We're going to just start removing some of this heavy armor here and replacing it with the lighter stuff. I know this sounds like sacrilege to some people, but dear Lord, we have to do it. Tank is too heavy. She's too big. She's too large, Captain. She cannot take the weight. We're gonna have to just release a little bit of this. Okay. And that'll help out with the weight on the turret. That'll just make things a lot easier. But that's something I really get irritated at with YouTube when they go, "Hey, we've got to do some censorious crap." That irks my nerve more than anything else. Okay, should be able to do that. There, that should enable me to pull this out like one at a time. Oh, whoops. Almost messed up there. Here we go. And boop. That's in there. And then we'll just remove this stuff here. Morgan Trial, hello there. Renegade Bundy. Well, the extent of rules things have nowadays, yeah, yeah, it's absolutely pointless the amount of rules that you have to have for something because it just drives. What is that giant tire doing there? I I don't remember putting that there. That's got some weird texturing on it. We're probably going to shoot the cannon at that here in a minute. That's fixing to become a target. Okay, how are we going to attack this here? I need to, let's remove what we can. Okay, yeah, we're going to get the right one there. Uh, Wait, what was that? Something, oh, Rick. Well, something was going to fall off. I guess that was going to be it. Let's grab this here. 4, I think it is. All right, there we are. Like I said, I just want to take this armor plating here and just make this barrel that much lighter. But yeah, the whole censorship, everything nonsense is just a nightmare to begin with. Some people just need to let people have fun, in my opinion. Just let us all have fun. That's all it will take. Okay. Um, can't do it that way. Let me grab this over here. And there. Barrel's back on. And we have a nice, better barrel. Let's see, what's the bottom of this? Is that... Yeah, those are heavy armor blocks too. I'll have to take them out. I remember the Dukes of Hazzard at one point when they lost a tank, when they got a tank. And then there the narrator said one of the Duke boys was finding out real quick working on that thing was like doing dental work on a dinosaur. It's just got to be labor intensive the entire time. That was a good show. There we go. All right. So we have a fully reconfigured tank barrel. Now we just got to do the same thing to the other side. Okay. No, wait, I don't think that has. There. There we go. Now then, let's see. There we go. Delete that over there. But yeah, the whole, oh, we've got to have a rule for this and a rule for that, and it's just irritating. I grew up in the 90s. We didn't have this problem. Let me see who else is here. I don't know what your name is. It looks like it's maybe Korean. Morgan Trial, how's everyone? I'm not sure who this is. It's got D8I on there. That's what we're going to call D8. That's what I'm going to call you right now because I can't read that. Says hello. Hello. Nice to see you here. I don't know if you can understand me. But right now we are just working on a monster called the Mammoth. For those that don't know what's going on, from Command and Conquer, it is the tank that made the game famous. This is going to cause something to fall off. it is. Right down there where I was expecting it to be. That over. Now the reason why we're lightening this barrel up, I know and I've said this before already. It sounds like sacrilege. Oh, come now. I just put that in there. All right, we're gonna drop down here and see if I can't get a lock on in there. Go on. I have a bad feeling. Ah, knew it. Knew that was gonna happen. Sometimes things go right, sometimes they go very, very wrong. All right, there we are. And the tank barrel is now lighter, which means now when I swing the barrel around, it should have less of an effect on the cannon or on the overall system. Boom. There we go. Now this turret should be able to turn and not affect the weight and everything. This thing shouldn't shift and shake too much either, which is a good thing. So now let's see. The next big thing we got to figure out is the missile. And thinking about all this, I want I would like to put player made missiles on here. I really would. The problem I'm running into, Renegade Bundy, I'm doing well. Yourself? Oh, doing good, doing good. I've got three more videos from the last recording session to get up, and that'll give us probably content on the channel until March, until Saturday when I record more and put it up on the channel. But for those that are wondering, yes, this monstrosity actually does drive. It has multiple subgrids. We have four subgrid. We have a main grid, which is the chassis, four subgrids, which is each individual track system, which are double tracked, two extra subgrids for each. Well, no, actually, one subgrid for the cannons, and an entire subgrid for the turret itself. You can actually hop in. We're going to have one more subgrid at the very least, which is going to go there. You can actually hop down into this thing's chassis, and it can actually run and pilot and do all sorts of fun stuff. I was messing around with it the other day, though, since we're here at this point. We could just let me see, activate this. We have this giant tire right over here. I don't know where that is from. I don't know what that come off of, but I can just hit it with that thing and just delete it. I think I killed it. Yep, it is no longer long for this world. It has now disappeared. So this is the modified version. This is the version that we are working on. You see now it does turn. You can see the shock absorption, but it's not as bad as it was before. And the last one, we took this thing up into the mountains and let it just go. Now it is. I can see some of the weight shifting on here when this thing turns. We are running over stuff right now. So yeah, she moves. She drives. She's slow. But I can engage the track system on here. We can turn this thing around, mess with it a bit, fire off the main gun. You can see the whole thing like shift. And as it runs over things, it just kind of tilts and shifts and runs over things and does what it wants to. It's really good. Uh, Renegade Morgan Trial is the next one. I fear for my computer if I tried to print this into my survival run. I plan on taking a Thursday off when this thing is finally complete. and dropping in on Xylo's little thing and letting them all kind of gush over this thing when it drops in. Because my plan is to try and fly it in via a VTOL system that would be able to lift this monster. Because when it comes in, all its tracks will be facing downward, and then you drop it in, and it'll move it. Renegade Bundy, watch the current ones you released to members. Remember the big rover that got disintegrated? Oh yes, yes, that was the that one juggernaut that someone had made, and we put it on there to use it as a target practice, and the whole thing just detonated into a bomb. I made a clip of that happening. I need to put that. I need to short that actually. I need to short that so I get some good stuff going. Yeah, you can see this thing turns. I've got access to the turret. The turret is operating quite nicely. And if you want to make this happen, the trick to it is you just make one cockpit the main cockpit, and then you can actually control this. Pretty good. Well, we're going to have the ability for one person to control it. It can get some speed. I mean, it is not impossible for this thing to reach some speed. This is the one over here is the one that we actually took up on the hill. Let me slow this monster down here. And it is a monster. I mean, but yeah, you're able to walk around the cabin or in the cab. We've got a small little engineering section here in the back with a diesel, and we can just climb right out here, right up onto the barrel of this monster. I mean, just for the sake of everything, this is how big this thing is. It is bigger. This is probably the largest tank, functional tank that has probably ever been put onto the grid or made in Space Engineers, in my personal opinion. But let's fly over here because I'll show you one of the things I did with this monster. This is the original one. I added a bunch more guns because, F it. I have a plan. It doesn't always have to be a good one. And this one may have given birth to a destroyer. These are all assault cannons. Oh, something blew up on something on the tank blew up. You can see right there having that many cannons just like light something up is just quite impressive. And I'm like, we're gonna probably turn this into a new type of destroyer at some point. But you can actually see how the armor works. We've got sloped heavy armor in here in pieces, so it will actually hold up. The barrel took a little bit of damage, but we actually took this thing over to the hill up here, where let me just fly on over here so you guys can see this real quick. But I'm trying to determine how we would build the honey badger because I got to talking online and I said, we're gonna build a massive destroyer called the Honey Badger Light Destroyer. It's going to be a brawler. Well, we took this thing up there without the rapid fire capability and just started using the full blast of its main cannons to hit a target. And we basically just about 4 or 5 blasts just kind of shot this thing down. It tore up the hill fighting. I think we went through like 3 enemy drones, vanilla drones, before we got to this, and this is the end result of that base up there. This is Earth Planet starter point, and this is the end result of that base. This is what the Mammoth will do to you when it comes. It's got enough armor to withstand a lot of punishment. A couple of decoy blocks in the front. I am going to add some decoy blocks to the front tracks so that is something because that's going to be the first thing that gets into position, and then that's the first thing that's going to be targeted by stuff. So the cannon barrels are not going to be the first thing targeted, if you can get that. Just imagine that thing coming in there and messing with all of your weapon systems to the point where you can't really do much to it. You're just going to have to survive the darn thing. And it can travel up, it can get up hills, it can move around and do stuff. Now, really rough terrain like these inlets here, going to be a problem. Most areas, not really. This thing will drive up it like it doesn't matter. It'll drive over things. There's actually There's actually a short that I have of where this thing runs over another rover and it just kind of crushes it. It's like, yeah, that rover's done. You're never coming back, bub. But yeah, this monstrosity coming at an enemy base is just a nightmare to behold. You know, you fire that and you just turn an entire area into dust. Now I am going to put some type of targeting cameras onto the barrels so this thing can just target stuff and do its thing. Let's stop you here. Come on, slow down. But yeah, that's just for new people showing up because it looks like we might have some new people in the chat. We got Grexion showing up. What's up, Badger? I see the tank is going great. Oh yeah. This is turning out awesome right now. I think I could probably put a camera right here on the top of these things. I didn't see that. That would give me two cameras to work with. Morgan Trial, you're going to need a chunk of a heavy lift VTOL for this thing. Oh yes, yes, it's going to. Let me see. I think I can access it and I can figure out just what the weight of this thing is, so you guys can understand like the nightmare that this thing is beholden to. Info: dry mass is 415,728. I think that is kilograms. I don't know enough of the devil's measurements to be able to tell you what this thing could possibly do. That is dry mass, though. I don't know if that's like kilograms or whatever it is. I figure that might translate to weight. I don't know. But it is zero thrusters, about seven lights, no artificial mass blocks, and a PCU of 4,148. So I mean, not a bad PCU to have. I mean, it's going to push your PCU limit. Let's just be frank. But it's a big tank. This is not a tonk. This is a chunk. This is a chunk tank. You have the tonk, which has like the turret, just a chassis with a single tread. This is a chunk. It's not a tonk. It's a chunk. It's a chank. Chank, cank. I don't know. Crank. Maybe that. Maybe crank. But now, like the player made missiles, the problem I have with player made missiles on this thing is even if I make them, they are going to be one, way too big, and two, launching them off this thing is going to be a decently difficult task, especially to keep it the looks. So I think the best thing to do would be to probably just add a chassis on the side or add a hinge on the side. We'll add just two more subgrids that might push it. And then we'll just have a rocket pod on there. Usually the missiles were supposed to be for taking out aerial targets to defend it. We're not going to do a whole lot of that. So I think we'll just put in the rockets, let it go from there. And then I'll see about doing some cutting work on this because this is still rough shaped. I know some people probably don't realize this, but the tank is still very rough shaped. And I need to go in there and pull some, cut into some places, replace some blocks with other blocks and everything, make that all work. Let's see. Renegade Bundy. I made printable turrets 2 out so far. Nothing as big as this thing. I think I should rip the commander seat out of the railgun turret so that people can just use it on the ships. You could. I mean, it's a cool. By the way, folks, Renegade Bundy makes some really cool stuff. Y'all, if he's got a place on the Steam Workshop, put it in the chat and just everybody go check that out. Have that and a few micro turrets added to the destroyer. Yeah. Nice. Grexion, sub Badger. I see the tanks going right. Yeah. Renegade Bundy again. I think the tank is about done, other than the finer details and paint. Yeah. Other than probably putting the missile launcher, because that is something, the rockets on there, which is something that the Mammoth actually does have. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can get the. I may either do that or set up some type of turret scripting system, or I may not do that. What I may do is I may just set those up to a system to where the rockets, as they're turning, each individual pod can be something you can access individually on the tank. And yeah, so the gunner can access it, and the gunner and the secondary gunner can access either one of those turrets up top, and they can just use that to fire at things, just to kind of turn it, shoot it. Each thing will have to have its own um, camera, though. It'll all have to have its own camera. Hey Badger, I uploaded a heavy gunboat based on my daring class yesterday. Oh yes, the thing's really cool. I've got to do a. You and I are going to have to get together, Rexion, when I get time, and we're going to have to go over, do like a fleet thing, so everybody can see what kind of fleet you're building. And you're gonna have to go through like each one of those. We're gonna have to do like like a fleet series where you go through like three, like go through the line, like small stuff for like three small vehicles, three medium weight vehicles, or three medium weight ships, and then three of the largest ships in the fleet, and then just kind of go through it or do something. I've got to figure that out. Renegade Bundy, have I have a decent sized small grid gunship in the works. It might be able to lift the turret of this tank once it's done at least. Yeah, I kind of want to lift the entire tank off the ground, because when you lift it off the ground, the front skids will like hang down forward. They've got enough. They push down constantly, but they've got enough that they'll lift down kind of forward. Let me see here. Hey Badger, what about a hinge-based rocket launcher system that fold into be manually reloaded? That would add a lot more to the tank. Uh, and also, where am I going to put it? Because that's going to take the side armor out, and the rocket launcher will kind of be armor in itself to help out the tank. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Garxion, good thing I made my museum world. Yeah, that's going to come in handy actually. Renegade Bundy, I have an idea. Okay, what's your idea? Also, figure up. I tell you what, we'll do this in the chat. Y'all just kind of tell me what color scheme you think this thing could use. We need a primary and secondary color, and I think I'm going to do gunmetal for the third color for like all the little mini detail stuff that's in it. But we need we're gonna need some colors to make this work. Oh crap, I have lost a freaking block there. Is that lost on the other side too? Nope, I'll just put that block back in. So I think what I'm gonna have to do, since the turret is not going to be, pull this out, I'm gonna knock a hole here. And something fell off. What fell off? Oh, an entire section of armor. That's wonderful. We'll take that out. I'll have to go back in and put that back in place. We'll shove that right about there, maybe. And that'll be all we need at that point. Because we're gonna build something off, build a little thing around it. I'm missing how is it that I lost a piece of armor on one side, but I didn't lose a piece of armor section on this side? Did I already take a bunch out? I need to add some armor back in. Yeah, that's it. I didn't have enough armor over here. I've got to put some heavy armor back on that side. Good Lord. Oh, I got to get out of here first. Dear God, let me out. Okay, Badger shoots out like a boss. Okay, so because it's not really gonna matter, I need to, let me see here. Go to the heavy stuff. We're gonna need some armor paneling here because, as many people have astutely pointed out, the tank doesn't have a whole lot of skirts, and I'm just going to have to start adding skirts to it. Why is number 3? Oh, number 2. That's where it goes. Now then, for this, I am going to need a round cylindrical block, and I don't have that accessed yet, so we're going to have to go find it. There we are. That'll do. We have a truss. Now what I'm after is this block. Set it right there. That'll give us a nice thing to roll around and do some stuff with. Let me see right here, Renegade Bundy. See myself not having a fleet makes sense because my faction is Renegade Industries. We make stuff for other factions and profit from their business. Actually, dude, if you could build a showroom of all the crap that you build and sell, that will work as well. I mean, it's more, the idea that I have is faction and business related stuff. So if you're building something on here, it would be a faction based. You built like a faction based thing. We would basically be checking that out and seeing how it worked. And you just show off all your stuff, basically. I got to do a museum for some of the stuff Triple R has. Just got to start making more modules and stuff for ships and bases. Yeah, I mean that's something that you could do because everybody's running their own. According to the lore and space engineers, everybody's running their own PMCs, pretty much. Let's see here now. We're gonna add. I'm gonna start detailing a little bit here, so that'll make something nice. On end now, let's look at our possibility for rocket launchers. Let me see here. What do I want? Let's go with light armor, number 1. I'm going to set that there. Let's see if I can get a rocket launcher there. Rocket launcher. There we are. Let's build this back a bit. I'm going to make an inset rocket launcher here. And we'll use the new one because I like the new stuff. There we go. There's one rocket. Now I just need to build the rest of the rocket launcher. Okay. Well, that's going to be comically big regardless of what I do. Okay, so I was going to do this thing where I tried to keep the rocket launcher, kind of down to earth, but that's going to get ridiculously large. Let's not do that. Let's not do it like that. I hate to be the guy that poops on the parade here, but that is way too big. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a stacked rocket launcher, because that's what we'll just have to do to make this thing look good. And I'll add... no. Or do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. Like I said, this is already going to be large enough as it is. And there we go. We've got a nice little stacked rocket system right there. And then I'll add half blocks to it just to make it look, better. Let's see. Maybe I can actually make this look a little bit more, because we are gonna have to worry about that here pretty soon. I don't want to sit there and worry about making it look good. I just want it to look good. There we go. We can go down here, and I can set those in down here at the bottom. There we are. And this little rocket launcher here will work on either side, actually. I'll have to copy this text as soon as I get it done. That way I can get away with minute things. I don't have to worry about keeping the thing looking perfect the whole time. Oh yeah, check that out. I will do this the other side. No, no. So yeah, we're gonna have a very nice large scale killer tank. We've got our nice rocket pod right here, which is what we're gonna have to do. But this will be good for like when the tank's main gun goes down, you'll be able to just hit the button and then just start rocketing, just blasting rockets. We'll set that to salvo fire. You hit this thing, you'll just lob the area with rockets. So the whole thing just becomes a nightmare to behold, and the enemy is just like, "Oh, come on now, this is not fair." I don't play for fair. I play for keeps. I play to win. People are gonna find that out the hard way. There's that. There. There. And I'm gonna need to do a video at some point. There's a video I'm gonna do because someone in the channel log turned around and asked the question. They're like, "How do you make?" They said they had trouble making tanks, and I'm like, "Heck yeah, I can show you how to do that. That's not too difficult." And I thought that tanks are like super easy. It's just tanks are fun if you know what you're doing. So now we've got one main rocket pod done. I'd like to build another one. But I don't want to do this the hard way, so we're going to do this the easy way. I'm going to build a whole another tank right out here. Just going to copy and paste. You see how this thing falls in. It's cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this. Didn't get too damaged, I hope. So I'll repair it. And then I'm going to copy this. Take it over here. And I'm going to put a cylinder block right here so I can attach right to it. Where is that? Boom, right there, like so. Oh, wait. Do this. And there you go. Now it looks like a frickin' mammoth. Now it's looking like a mammoth tank. We got two rocket pods. And actually, I could put a mouse script on here, I think, and control everything. We should attempt that. I should attempt the mouse script before I get done doing this. Let me get going on here and looking at it. Grexion here, respond to Renegade Bundy. Make an HQ station or base for your faction, Bundy. Just make a freaking showroom. that you start in the main hallway. Just the door opens and you've got all your stuff sitting in there. You can make little subgrids like tilting stuff like the tank turrets and everything, showing off how it all works and showing everything, and just be awesome. Renegade Bundy, fair enough. Well, I can rip out the hanger from the bow head, which is my which in my head canon, the AI is just when the people at RI get a bit too drunk and want to make something just for the sake of it. Oh yeah, so your company has the same basically your official statement is the your official motto is the unofficial motto of Keltec Arms. And the unofficial model of Keltec's arms is Keltec, because fuck it, we're just gonna make it. If you ever look up, honestly, y'all should look up Keltec because they make some weird guns now. Y'all think the Calico is nuts? Keltec makes the weirdest. They made one gun where you've got to split the entire gun down the middle, lift it up, slap a P90 mag in there, and then slap the entire barrel and system back down on top of it, and the whole thing fires. It jams, but it's like you look at that and you go, hmm, yeah, I have to give them props for that. I feel like my idea would be more compact. It wouldn't be as large, but technically more effective over time. I'll build something later that follows my idea. Yeah, just do that. Just do that, and then hit me up. Like, Grexion already has a base built up. Or he's got a system already built up. I just noticed something I could probably do right here. I'd love to do it if it would not tear that apart. We'll just leave that for now because I'm gonna screw something up. I promise you. I'm gonna mess with that and it's gonna screw everything up. Right about here. This is where I should have been smarter. Uh, 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 okay, there we go. Put that there. I think we're gonna set all this up to the mouse script. There is a simple mouse script we can use that will control all this stuff. Now we've got armor plating here that will make it a little more difficult to shoot that out, which can be a bit of a problem. Like tanks are a lot, for those of you that are wanting to build your own tank, you want some ideas, you can't wait for me to do a video. A tank requires a whole lot of looking at something, figuring out how it will fit together, and then figuring out how you can fit channels in there that'll make it harder to hit stuff. Okay, let's tell you what, we're gonna put it right about there. I think I can hit most of these actually. Before I have to adjust myself. That's the thing about jetpacks, man. They're nice. But you're doing fine detail work like this. So there you go. All right. That's fixed there. You see all this nice stuff. We can put some cameras on top of this and maybe slap a camera or two here. That'll give me the ability to control a lot of stuff. And then we'll put the mouse script in. And then I've got to do more fitting, as I like to call it, because right here you can see this. I could probably put something up in here past that and then add a piece of armor on the side that would just, kind of overlap each other perfectly. So there's that. And then I'm looking in here, I need to put some type of armor skirting right in there that'll, fix all that nonsense right in there so nothing can bounce in and hit. Yeah, so we got the rocket pods on. Let's see. Because I don't... Actually, I'm going to copy this whole thing again. Now we drop this one in. I'll drop it from pretty good height so you can see how it works here. Shouldn't damage it too much. Ooh. That hit pretty hard. Did we damage anything? Well, it doesn't look like it. It looks like the whole thing's in good tip-top order. All right, we're gonna delete this one here because I don't have a use for that anymore. And this is just what it looks like when you're building stuff in creative mode. You're just gonna be building, 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 and making all kinds of stuff. Now, if this works, like I'm hoping this script will, I'm hoping it doesn't give me too much of a fit because I've got scripting areas for days here we can throw stuff into. Let's grab a script real quick. You have to have these enabled. All right, you have to have these enabled so you can work on them. Let's see. We should have a mouse control script here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so he says use the turret control script instead of. Hmm. Oh, whoops. What did I do that for? Well, let's see here. Okay, this is gonna be a trip right here. Okay. This is a simple script that enhances the functionality of custom turret controller CTC block with the following features. Automatic CTC block configuration, turret rotor reset angles, support for more than two rotors. So, more than two. So, let's see. How do I install this? Do not modify variables of the script. Okay, this is going to be a fun one to figure out. So, all I've got to do. All right, we're remembering those changes. Edit. Let's check the code real fast. Just do a quick check. Come on. There we go. Compilation successful. Okay. So we got all that done. Uh let's see. So we can actually set up a couple of turret control blocks here somewhere that will enable us to control all this. Really, I should have put a hinge on those things and labeled all of that crap because I could still do that. I do want to make some type of anti-air turret that can be used for taking care of aerial targets. I wonder where we're going to put this at. Actually, we've got a spot right here. We can put two turret control blocks right here. It won't interfere with the movement at all. And we would still be hunky-dory on all this. So let's grab a turret control block, number 8. And I'm just going to flip that and put it in right there. Is that on the other side? No, let's go ahead, knock that out, and put the turret control block right there. So let's see. Let's label this custom turret control. Um, left rocket pod. So I know where that is. And then this one's also on the same grid. You can tell because it's on the same. Nope. 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 It's not right. HUD. And this one here is going to have to be changed back to right. Right rocket pod. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to hop into the control seat here. I'll look out on the tank. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the first one here. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to grab these. Let's see, turret controller. Let's go left. We'll do control. And then I believe right will go here. And control. What? No. How'd that happen? Okay, there's my left rocket pod. We're going to put that there. Okay. So we got control of each one of those. We're going to go into K. And need to find rotor. Let's do rotor 1. Rotor. Oh, what am I doing? We'll make a test for right now so I know which is which. And we'll drop out of that. Find our control. We'll do the left one first. Elevation rotor. And we shall call this rotor test. Oh, this is interesting. Let's grab the where's our rockets at? Where's our rockets? Okay. Let's see. Let's grab all of these. And I'll put a T next to them because they are a different color. That'll give me an idea. We'll just do this on test because we got to figure out what thing is what. Simple way of doing this without having to grind everything down. And then number 6 is T. There we go. Now we'll go back up to the left. I have no idea what does what. All right. Let's see. We need this, all T rocket launchers. Add those in there. And now control. Hey, got them right on the first time. Look at that. All right. So, wait, no, hold on. That is not the left rotor. Okay, so that's the right rotor. And those are the right rockets. I really could put a hinge on that and just concentrate all those weapons if I'm going to use the turret control script on that. Actually, I could run all that to the... There's actually a 4th control seat in here that's in the turret itself that I could then sell that to. And then those 2 machine guns are supposed to be used by the other 2 sides. So we got this figured out. Okay. That's working like it's supposed to. I could probably just add the azimuth rotor on there, and then once I hook everything up, it'll all just run normally like it's supposed to. Let's see. We need to go back in here. All that is on the right. So, rotor test is actually rotor right. Rotor 2 is rocket pod. That one's actually left. Uh, all right, all of these, what we're going to do here with this is L. I wish there was a faster way of doing this. Maybe they'll fix it in Space Engineers too, and when I finally get an upgraded PC, we'll be having fun over there. And then I'll have to go back and do all this again to the other side. L, okay. And then instead of T, we're going to make this R. Do R there. Two more. And there we go. We've got all that labeled up. So I can actually put these rocket pods in their own group. And then as you turn the tank, the turret, you can just push a button and just send all that into the target at one time. Okay, let's go back here. The custom left controller here. Let's see. We should have. We'll put the advanced rotor there. And we'll put the rotor left pod there. And then let's just select all those, remove them. I'm gonna grab all the lefties there, shove them in. And so now when I hit control on here, where's the control? Oh, come now. I had control on here. All right, screw it. Should be number 3. There we go. And now I can actually control the turret when I do this. So then go back into K here and do everything that we just did with the right one. Now we will put an advanced rotor there, do the right, and then just grab all of the right rockets here. Add them. And we don't have control for that, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to hit number 4. I said number 4. What the frick is going on here? Alright, wait, what the frick? I put the right ones on. No, wait. There we go. And we're able to turn the turret too while we're operating. So now we have multiple systems set up. We should be able to set up multiple all these systems to a single system, which I will then be able to control. Then I'm going to put stagger fire on the thing when I get done. Let me look through here and just read through what's happening here. You could replace the guns with purely rockets for shits and giggles. Oh yeah, that's what we're doing right now, Renegade Bundy. Build an effective base for the tank is probably 60-70% of the battle. When building a tank, the turret is fairly easy overall. Yeah. Why not look at my turrets to do something similar to fix the issue you have? Uh, Badger wants some help as I use that on all my tanks. If I can't figure this out, just start putting in the chat what I'm supposed to do. Because that's what will probably happen. Well, look at Space Engineer's chat later on and see the very beginning of my gunship so far where the first thruster placement are marked the backside of the cockpit area. That's from Renegade Bundy. And he continues here. He's definitely going to be a large, small grid ship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you name and hide shit as you build. Yes. Yeah, I didn't. This was. The rocket pod was kind of like a last ditch thing to throw on here. And then I realized after I started putting it on, I was like, yep, we didn't label crap. We're going to have to start labeling crap. Gets very mixed up and confused very quickly. Add the salvo script to each of the rockets. Yes, it'll have the salvo. We'll be installing the salvo script. I'm inside the tank right now, just operating it at the moment. As you can see here, here we are. We're operating the tank. Let's throw in the salvage script while we're at it, because just F it. Let's go in here. Browse L scripts. Pull up a salvo script, because that's one of those things that you just can't get away from. Let's see, it's AI, it's turret AI sling weapons salvo. There we go. Check code. Make sure everything runs properly before we put it in. Then okay. And I believe what I've got to do with this is we just grab the rockets and put them into. Let's see here. Am I missing one? Nope. And I think all I got to do is. Group 1. Save that. And now just got to go through here, get all these. I may have messed up here. Group 2. There we go. Now I need to look at group Salvo group 1. Is there anything here that is not supposed to be in that group? All right, that is working there. Let's see. Did I? No, I didn't. I forgot to save Salvo group 2. Save. Now, where is? Let's go back to here. Gotta go into custom data here, and we've got to add true to both of these. There's true, true. Now the big kicker here is going to be, how's this going to shoot? Oh, that's freaking awesome. Oh, that's terrifying. That's a little much. Let's tone that down just a bit. What speed is that set to? Let's see. 360. Let's set it to whoops. Let's set it to 200. Okay. Now let's see how it shoots now. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. It's not out of control. I don't want it to just be just belching rockets out like crazy. So we got some control over that. Um, Jeez, this freaking weather, I swear. Admin tools, weather, remove. Excellent. Yeah, there you go. That should terrify the hell out of you. And the tank still operates like it's supposed to, so we can still pull this thing around. Just here's a couple of siege rounds for you. Just start launching in the rocket pods as they go in. Actually, come to think of it, I'll tell you what we should do. I've done this all wrong. We did this salvage group one. Delete that. I don't know how this will respond, but let's add all of these to group one. See how that works. Oh, something happened. Just broke it. We just broke it. Number of weapons 12. Let's see how that works. Oh, we broke it now. Hmm. Well, we may have broken that. Let me see here if I can get that all back up and running again. Okay. Let's see. It's firing only one. Let's go through here and do this. Two. 3. Let's see if that has any effect on it. Uh-oh. Did I break it? I think we broke it. I think we broke the script. Let me go back in here, reset all that again. All right, there we go. We reset that back. And I think this one here is going to have to be 2. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Let's go ahead and see Salvo Group 1. Let's go ahead and remove all that. And we will return these to Salvo Group 2. Oh, whoops. Almost forgot. Save that. Okay, yeah. We're not going to be able to force that to happen, but I have a plan to get around that. Let's see if I can do this here. Just drop a weapon block here. Nope, can't fire that either. What the frick? Guess I could them. Let's see what happens if I put all of them in the same group. Okay, that's what I needed to do. There we go. That's what I need to do. We'll just have to add L to all of it. So we've got all the weapons in each one. And then let's go down here to the programmable block. Let's set it back to true. And we'll set that to how to do that again? 200. Now I wonder what would happen. Yeah, I'm about to do something stupid again. Let's try this one more time. because we have it all. We'll do that. Ah, okay. Save that all to one group. Let's go to K. Go back to programmable block here. Number 3. Recompile, run. Oh, that's even better. Actually, screw it. Let's go back up to 300 on that. You take out that weapon group entirely. We don't need that. And run that baby up to about 300. Oh, geez, that is absolutely terrifying. Now it'll have a limited number of rockets, but once this thing reaches your base and starts unloading, it's going to be a nightmare to behold. Okay, so now we're gonna have to figure out this stupid turret control blocks. We can run everything at once. Let's see. Oh yeah, a gun shroud. Yeah, we're gonna put a shroud on the front of it. Something interesting. Renegade. We'll do that. The best way to build it so small but it can still be effective and capable of being armored in the same way. With this tank, it's not too close for missiles switching to guns. It's too close for guns switching to missiles. Oh yeah, because then you also have to realize you got that nightmare to deal with, and then switch to 5, and you're chucking rockets at the target, and you can't control any of that crap going on. And then the two main guns can be operating independently, or they can operate via AI. So it gives us a whole lot of stuff to play around with. Plus, it's like 10 freaking rounds of this. Just kind of lifts the tank up and moves it wherever you want it to go. Okay, let me look on here. I had to run the programmable block with the command setup to set everything up again. It will fix it. I think I got everything fixed because it's firing pretty good right now as it is. Now I am going to put 2 cages on the back of this thing. And I'm going to add and put like a whole bunch of blocks and other crap in there that we can salvage and bring with us. So it'll have like a little cage area for all the stuff you can carry. Let's see, number 2, so I can turn this turret around here. I need to set this thing up. All right, here comes the fun part. We now have to go to the script, and I need to see how I do this. Let's browse the scripts again. It should have instructions on how to do it. All right, TCS. Group each custom turret controller block. Name TCES unique name tag. See below section. Open a programmable block. in the edit menu. Configure rotors and hinge custom data if you want to reset angles. Run TCS with the argument set up to process any new groups. Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, all I've got to do, I think I only need one turret controller to make this all work, honestly. Let's try this here. Uh, both of these. We're gonna set those to. Oh, would you just elevation? And we'll set this one to. Make sure I've spelled that correctly. Yes, I've spelled it correctly. Okay, so that should do both of those. Now going back to the programmable block here, not this one. And let's go back into it so I can see how I can manipulate this thing here real quick. Let's see if I can get it done. Let's see if I can do it on my own here for a second. Where is it? One TC ES group per custom turret. Okay. CS unique name. Okay. Okay. If I'm looking at this correctly, I don't need the other two turret controllers. I don't think. Let me delete both of these here. And then where's the turret controller up here? We've got this one. I've just got to access it somehow. Okay, we're just going to access it from down here. Hop into this, and let's go. All right, custom turret controller. Um, let's see. What was it? Leave. Main turret. Let's check this here. TCES is what it says. Did I do that correctly? Yes, TCES main turret. Let's see. What am I missing here? Custom data. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens here. That ain't supposed to happen. Oh, stop. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm a little afraid to shoot. Okay, what did we do wrong? Yeah, so it's not. I added this, and now the hinge is just rotating like crazy, and the other one's not doing a darn thing. It's not doing what I want it to do. Okay, that didn't do what I wanted to do. What did I do wrong? Maybe I also need to put the others in there as well. Yeah, that's the only thing working right now. Hmm. Huh. Well, I wonder. All right, the cannons are all working. What has happened here? Imagine you can call me if you need help. I want you to get this done on my own. It's nothing against y'all. It's just I want to try and figure this out on my own, and it's just crap. How is this thing supposed to work exactly? Let me go back in here and look again. See what I may have done wrong. Okay, wait a minute. What'd that say back there? Sync groups. Okay, sync groups. What is that? What's a sync group? I think it said that in there somewhere. Ah, sync groups. Extra rotor section below. Okay, do I have to put... I've got weapons on there. Oh, wait, I'm probably... don't tell me I'm going to need those again. So it says here, sync groups allow you to synchronize the aiming of a custom rotor turret to a particular custom turret controller. The custom turret controller does not need to be in a TCES group, but if it is, the sync group will inherit the configured turret stabilization, rest angles, and weapon dead zones from the TCES group. Sync groups should be named like the following: sync unique name. Unique name does not need to correspond to it. A sync group should have the following blocks: the custom turret controller that it should synchronize to, at least one rotor, name does not matter, at least one camera, weapon, or tool. This script will attempt to aim the sync turret in the same direction as the group custom turret controller, and it will also synchronize weapon slash tool firing state. Okay. So, if I'm reading that right, let's grab these two. And I want to say, I think we have to put this in a group called Sync. Maybe that will work. I don't know. Mm, no sync groups. Hmm. Well, I'm completely lost. Let's see if that worked. Nope. We're still effed. Let me see something here, folks. We're going to save our changes before quitting. And I'm gonna see if I can get let me modify the one deal here in edit settings. Oh wait, I've already got max players on here. All right, load that up. And Grex, if you want to help out here, I guess that's what we're gonna do. I'm not above asking for help. I am not above asking for help. Let me pull out here for just a moment. That's what she said. That's what he said. Let's pull out here for a moment, and I'll run up a call here. Grex. We'll see if we can figure out what this thing is doing here.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
So,
I can't exactly join, but from the looks of it, what you need to do
okay.
is in a group, you need to have a custom turret controller, the weapons you want to use, a rotor slash hinge called elevation, and azimuth. Azimuth is for rotation, elevation is for up and down.
Okay, so the advanced rotor turret that turns the entire turret base, that has to be named azimuth, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I think I spelled
And
that correctly.
uh, once you have everything named in the programmable block, run the command setup, and it will and it will allow you to start controlling everything.
Let me see if I've spelled that correctly here. Yeah, okay. So I got the advanced rotor, and I guess the hinge for the main cannon barrels would also have to be set to
Uh,
elevation, wouldn't it?
yes. So anything that will go
Okay.
up and down, name elevation. Anything that's supposed to rotate, you name azimuth. I just name my stuff like main gun azimuth, main gun elevation.
Okay, so we've got all that. So what do I got to do with a custom turret controller?
Uh, the custom turret controller, you need to have a custom turret controller, the elevation and azimuth rotor, as well as either gun or camera in the same group.
Do I have to have all the weapons that I'm using in there?
If you want to use all the weapon at the same time, yes.
Okay. So what if I want to use the weapons individually?
Then you need, I think you need to then have four custom turret controller, one for each weapon you control, and then one if you want to control all of them at the same time.
Okay. So I could still probably just turn the well, like
Yeah,
have
so like
how I have in the
the
screen.
rockets, as long as you have the azimuth rotor in that group, then yeah, it will work.
Do I need the sync group or no?
No.
Okay, we'll delete that. And let's see what happens. Okay, that's better, but nothing else is working.
That's because you need to go to the programmable block and in command like prompt, you need to put in a setup.
Let me see here. Where's
I've
the
tried what you did with just recompile, but it doesn't work for me, so
so where
I just
the
go to
custom data?
yeah.
Nope, that's the
No,
wrong one.
go to the TCES programmable block.
Yeah, all right, I'm there. All right, I'm inside the custom data part.
Yeah, scroll down.
Is that custom data or in the edit?
Not there. So scroll down.
Okay, edit.
It should be at the bottom. No, not in custom data. At the bottom, there should be a little bar where you can type in a command.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's outside
Argument.
the custom data.
Is it argument?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it calls argument.
Okay, what do I type in?
Setup. But no, not there. I think it's uh, hit escape.
Okay.
Let me see, because I'm watching through your stream. Yeah, argument and then setup.
Okay, so go into argument.
And then type in setup. And then hit run.
And run.
And it should work now.
Okay, let's see. All right, I've got the turrets turning. Nothing else is turning. Wait,
Hmm.
let me check here. So TCS, let's see what's in that. I got custom turret controller. Everything's inside of it.
Do you have a camera or a weapon?
I've got
The reason I'm
rockets.
saying either of them is because you can turn it just using the weapon as like the aiming reference. Uh,
Well, I got rockets on the two pods, and we got the cannons inside the hinge that runs both cannons. So I need a camera, maybe.
it may be.
Okay, we were gonna put one of these on there anyway. So let me just hop out of here for a second. I think what I'm gonna do, we'll put a camera right here. I think. Do I have a camera already? No, I don't. Let's find this nonsense first as everything loads up. Camera, there it is. All right, let's hop on down here. And let's go in. I guess I add that to the custom turret controller, correct?
Yes.
There we are. And well, there it is. Okay. So that has. Oh wait, no, hold up. I didn't have the system all set up, and we still have nothing. What the hell?
Hmm. Weird.
Yeah.
It should. Wait, hold on. What? Uh, Let me see the turret. Like, does it? Okay, so it moves side to side.
Yeah. It's got a hinge inside of it.
It,
It's got a rotor underneath it.
yeah, but it's the up and down that doesn't seem to work.
Well, the rocket pods seem to be moving up and down now, but everything else isn't.
What's the main gun's elevation? Like, did you name it elevation?
Did I name it elevation? Yeah, hinge turret elevation. Is that spelled
Hmm.
correctly? Yeah, it is spelled correctly, I think. Yeah.
Weird.
Could it be that I'm using rotors with a hinge?
No, because like I'm on my tank, I use a rotor for rotation and a hinge for elevation, so that should not be the issue.
No, what I'm saying is I'm using rotors for the rocket pods at elevation and a hinge for the turret's elevation.
Mm. Try making a group with just the like main gun. Because I'm not sure, but I don't think that's going to be an issue.
All right, I should be able to just delete this and the whole thing should work. Oh, that's weird. I can't even access weapons now. That's weird. And the older tank, it'll actually work.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a conundrum, like I said.
Yeah. Let me actually hop on Space Engineer now.
If you want,
Cause
I can
now
just invite you over here.
yeah, cause I am intrigued to why it's not working.
All right, there you go. Because,
Yeah, just wait.
like I
Uh,
said, I was checking it out and it just doesn't seem to be working. I don't know if it's the hinge or if it's the weight or what. It's
mhm.
it's interesting. Now,
Yeah.
do I need custom turret controllers for each one of the for everything that's moving?
No, you shouldn't, because I've made a test tank where I used one controller for multiple rotor and hinges.
Uh-huh.
So you can't run all. If you want everything to aim at the same time, you can. Um, the only thing I needed to really fix was I needed to set braking torque for everything because it was very reactive.
Okay.
See, I'm joining now because now I'm intrigued to why it's not working.
Oh yeah. 'Cause I'm sitting here like this should be doing its thing, and now it's like, oh no, it's not. What is going on here?
Hmm. Yeah, honestly, I might need to spawn in my tank, my latest one, because I know that shit works on it. So I need to spawn that in just to check how I have it set up.
Yeah, I want to say one of these mammoths actually does everything. Let me remove the weather here. Once again, it just so we got, oh, dear Lord, I've got like 5 or 6 different mammoths out here just meandering around.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, this will actually probably make it. If I can get this done tonight, I'll probably just quit for a little bit afterward and just give my brain time to recuperate from it.
Yeah, I'm loading in. It's taking its time.
Yeah, I've got a mod or two on here. Plus, I've got a bunch of tanks just sitting around
Okay,
right now.
yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see. It's this one right here.
No,
Oh,
it'll be
Jesus.
this one over here. This is the one that has all the scripting and everything set to it.
Ah, yeah, it's loading in like every bits and piece
Ah.
of it. So every single subgrid is loading. Okay, let me see. See, how do you have it? Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, I'm in the right tank.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so you want all the assault cannons, right?
Yes.
Uh, the I'm guessing. Wait, okay. Do you have okay hinge turret elevation? Yep. Yep. Semi OCD getting triggered by some of these.
Yeah, I know. I haven't properly labeled nothing yet.
Yeah.
We're still in
Let me
testing
see.
phases.
Yeah. Let's see. Advanced rotor turret azimuth. What's the name of the main custom turret controller?
There should be only one custom turret controller on there.
Oh, okay, so it's just the singular custom turret controller.
Yeah, there's just one custom turret controller. I did add two to see if I can get those rocket pods to work, but
Yeah.
the system
Let's
said
see.
it didn't need it, so I kind of deleted them.
Elevation. Let's see. Did you place a camera?
Do they need a camera?
Not necessarily. Let's see.
Well, I can put one on there.
No, I think I can fix this. There, no, programmable blocks. Is it number yeah, number 4 is the one. Run.
Okay, there we go. Turrets work. The main guns are moving, but the everything else
Oh,
isn't.
and it's super slow to stop.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like the actual mammoth. It takes a little bit to get it into position.
Yep. Uh, okay, wait. I'm gonna do this because you not you don't necessarily need a camera, but you are gonna be able you're gonna be aiming in third person then. So just I can see if shit is moving. See, okay, solo script, solo script. God, God damn it. Huh? Wait, eh? Oh wait, no. Okay, let me see. Oh Jesus, okay, main gun's moving.
Yeah, it's moving fine. You want? I'll take the
Uh,
camera off. You can see it from third person.
wait. Hmm. See, could you just temporarily just add a second custom turret controller?
Yeah. Hang on. There's actually room in there for that.
Yeah, okay. Let me
Um,
just rotate so you
there we
can
go.
get in.
Yep, that's all I needed.
Yeah, because I think. Oh Jesus, it is spinning out. Okay,
Don't spin
I
too
like
hard.
how it's very finicky to rotate when you're controlling it, but the moment you stop controlling it, it just comes to a dead stop and doesn't move.
All right, I've got it labeled custom turret controller too.
Okay. DCS. I think it's not working. Or wait, hold on. Maybe let's see. Potential count. No, it's not that. Workflow for custom. Here we go. Elevation, yes. Azimuth, yes. Sync. Wait, sync group name tag. DCS. Okay, this will be interesting. Just need to quickly check. Okay, yes. So let's do that one. These two. Oh wait, hold on. I might just be dumb.
That's okay. I've been dumb for the last 20 minutes, so a little company over here wouldn't be that bad.
I think I realized not why it might not be aiming the smaller. Yep,
Okay.
I I forgot to add the rocket pods to the turret group.
Okay.
The, are they aiming now?
Yeah, it's all aiming. Now, will it all
Yep.
fire at once? Oh, dear God, that is
Yep.
terrifying. How do I disable one of
Oh,
those?
this is a bit interesting. So the rocket pods, they'll keep firing until the assault cannons are reloaded.
Okay, we can't have that.
Yeah. I let go of the
As cool
trigger.
as that is,
As cool as it is, it's
I can put
probably
down
not.
suppression fire with rockets until the cannons lift
Yeah,
back up.
that that's why I was asking you to add the second turret controller, because then we can do this. Let me is rename it to rockets. There, I need to add that. Need to add all the rocket pods. Because I think I need you add them to a group. CES rockets. There we go. Now if I run, it should tell me, yep, they're two groups. Go. Let me see if this will work now. Hit number 3. Yep, now it's just controlling the rocket pods. But it's
Okay, so I
also
can control one or
rotating
the
the
other.
turret.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. That
See, if
works.
I hit number 2. Okay, so you need to exit it and then enter the main gun one. And that one still has the rocket pods.
Yeah, we'll just have to take the rocket pods off that turret, I think.
Wait, hey? Wait, why is it... They're not in the same group. Why is it shooting? Okay, this is interesting. It shouldn't shoot the same weapon. Oh wait, unless... No, the assault cannons are in the same salvo group. Okay, that is interesting. Hmm. Okay, a simple solution I think of is adding the weapons to a programmable block, like add all weapons to the same group,
Hmm.
add it to a non-program timer block, and then have one set of them off and the other one on, or just make two separate groups. Because I think since both are part of the same programmable block, they will
Oh wait,
fire.
let me just
Yeah, because it
let me see
these
something.
will.
I'll hop in here real quick, see if I can see what we can do here. Here, let me hop in that seat for a minute. I'll
Oh,
try something.
yep, it sent me outside.
Yeah, it'll do that.
Wait, hold on. I might have an idea of what it could be.
Wait. Let me see if this. Oh, it's still firing. What the hell? Oh man, that ain't helping nothing. It'll interrupt it, but it turns it right back on.
See, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's like operating its own little ship in here.
Yeah. One thing I can think of that you could either do, could remove the rockets from the rocket turret group,
Hmm.
and then you just have them on a on-off fire.
Okay, so what we would have to do is we would have to, what, take them off that particular group?
Yeah, and then make a group with them. I guess that's like because they have fire on and off. Wait, it should be able to just do see. So if I have their shoot on off, PCES rockets, remove all of these. Let's spam save a few times. Run. So now, no, they're still firing.
Let me check that because it said something about. I was looking at it and it said, "Oh boy."
Yeah, wait. 12 weapons/tools. Wait.
Okay.
Uh, uh,
Be careful. That thing is pointing down now.
yes, I know.
And it just seems to
Okay.
be spinning now.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Shit. Could you add a camera to one of the pods? Because
Yeah.
I think it's the rockets were essentially the aiming reference. It will keep the rockets as the aiming reference, but if you add a camera, it should work. Okay.
You want me to add a camera to
Let-
the other one too?
No, no, it should just the one camera should just be fine. Oh wait, I am very confused. Why is it? Hmm. Okay, let's rotate. Okay, so now it's just using. It still has the rockets. Yeah, the tank is slowly tilting down again.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's when you tilt it back, the weight kind of shifts it a bit.
Yeah. Oh, oh, I feel a bit dumb now. I completely forgot. It still has all the weapons in the um custom turret controller.
Oh, so we just remove them from the original custom turret controller.
Yes.
That works.
Wait, hold up. Is it? It's adding them all back. Why is it doing that?
What?
It's adding all the weapons back. Why is it doing that? It shouldn't do that.
Oh boy.
Okay, wait. Hold on, let me do this. Let me remove the group for the rockets. And god damn it. Okay, something is wrong because it's still
You want to delete
still
the entire
seeing.
all the systems and then reintroduce the program back in the block again.
Maybe wait. Okay, that's weird. So it's still saying that there is a group with 6 rocket pods, but I removed the group. The
Uh,
group for the rocket no longer exists.
recompile it and run it again. See what that does. If you haven't
Nope.
done it. Okay. Hmm.
Uh, Wait, maybe if I make a new group with just the components for aiming them. See, there we go. Rockets. Yeah.
That might work. Also, while you're at it, just delete the old group.
Yeah, I deleted the old group. See, rockets, rocket pod elevation. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Warning: unused rotor, rocket pod left. Hold on, let me see. Over
And
turning one. Why is it doing that?
and we got one turning. We're back to where I was
Yeah.
before, except we got the other side turning. You think if I put a camera on the other one, it would do the same thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe because it's not. It doesn't have a point to aim it.
All right, try that now.
Yes, that might be it. See, save. Yeah, but it still says that it has.
Okay, they're both moving now.
Oh yes, but they aren't firing.
Poop.
Or they're firing on your end.
Nope.
Okay.
Now they're going.
Yes. So now it works. Now you have so you can aim them, but then number 8, you toggle shooting on and off.
Oh boy. Okay.
So
So how about
now
the
you can
main
aim.
cannons? Will they work?
Oh yeah, shit. I didn't check that. Let me.
Yeah, it's a trick to get into.
Okay, it's still shooting those. But that should. Oh. Uh, Again, it's probably because they're in the same. No, they're not in the same group. So I don't think so. Oh. Hmm. Okay, that is strange. Why is it shooting everything? Wait, hold on. Are you using a salvo script for the main guns?
No, not for the main guns. The salvo script works for the rockets only.
And I am very confused.
The main gun should not be on there. I can check
Yeah.
though.
Oh, I think I know what the issue might be. It might have
Let me
bugged
check here.
out. Let me see. Custom to controller, elevation.
Yeah, we've only got one salvo group.
Yeah, I think it bugged out when we had everything firing at the same time.
Ah,
Yep, that might be it.
so what will that mean? Ooh, rip all the
Yes,
programming out and put it all back in?
see, unused. Ah, yes, okay, now it should work. Just quickly check. Yep, aiming up and down works. Side to side works. It's not shooting.
The one rocket pod is spinning. The other one is doing nothing.
Yeah, Hmm. Why is it? Oh, wait. No. Okay, I'm confused why it's doing all that. Oh, wait, hold on. What if I do this? It was like that. You could name it, right? Let's see. Oh, wait, no. Uh, you can't name it like that. Uh, all that, and then let me see. Yep.
Never let it be said, folks, that I don't try new things.
Yeah.
Fun part about this is I just don't know how to make this new thing work. It'll be cool if I can get it to figure if we can figure it out. Like I said, I've done it what I think is the way, unless we could rip.
Oh.
Do you want to like probably take all the programming out, delete all of it, and then reinstall it?
Maybe it depends. Okay, yes. Now it.
And that one on the left is just spinning like crazy.
Why is it? Why is it spinning? That's what I don't get. The other one is not.
See, we can get this thing to work. It's just all the guns are firing at one time.
Yeah. Uh, wait, I did remember seeing. But why is that on? Hmm. The issue I think is it doesn't recognize. Wait. No, it's okay. Yeah, no, something is wrong with the programmer because wait, are both aiming?
The rocket pods apparently went up into the air. The guns are pointing down.
Yeah, so the rocket. This is what's weird. In the programmable block, in the group for the rockets, it says there's one rotor. In the one for the main gun, it says there's one unused rotor, which is the right rocket pod, the one that keeps spinning.
Hmm. Well, now the left one's spinning. The right one's not doing anything.
Oh yeah, the left. So I don't understand why it's spinning. It shouldn't be spinning. I could try this. See if it will work. Might stop the spinning.
Nope.
Still spinning. Okay. For some reason, uh, every time I need to add or remove something, I need to delete the entire turret group and then make it anew for it to recognize.
The change.
Yes.
Hmm. See, that's why I'm
Okay.
asking.
Now it should work now. Okay, yeah, now it works.
The turret's
Why?
running, but now the rocket pods are doing nothing. Well, we can control them individually. Now, if
Yep.
we can just fire each one differently, that'll be awesome. All right, there's the cannons. Rockets are not
There's
firing.
yeah, the rocket's not firing because the rockets have their own separate fire group.
All right.
The firing for the rocket is toggle. Uh,
Oh, you said to toggle it?
yes, because it didn't want to work.
Oh, nice.
Okay, wait. I'll see if I can make it perhaps work. Let's see. If this works, then hooray. Okay, rockets. Okay, rocket has 12. Okay, yes, now it should work. So gun
There's
will
cannons.
shoot, nothing else.
And the rockets will
Yes!
fire individually. There we go.
However, the rockets are turned, the elevation is inverted. Let me see. -18. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now they work. I'm fairly certain the main gun. No, yeah, the main gun is normal. Yep, there we go. Fixed.
All right.
Don't need the toggle option anymore.
Okay, good. Let me go in here and try this out real quick. Now, is there a way to set the turret to reset or something? Uh, we'll
Yes.
we'll mess with that
Uh,
later.
oh, let me
Those.
let me find a seat. Okay. What do you just want it to just aim like straight forward?
No, I would like the turret to reset itself back because. So
Here,
let,
wait,
let me
what's
let me show you why. If the turret isn't reset back to where it's like almost like pointing forward, then it's harder to get
yeah,
into the tank.
yeah, okay. Let me see.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah, say, do you have the turret right now as you want it to reset to?
Let me see. Give me a sec here. A few more adjustments.
There. The barrels are aiming up now.
I don't mind if it aims upward. There
Yeah,
we go.
because I need to set
That's actually perfect because it'll look good when it gets done firing.
yeah.
And so I suppose when I exit out, it'll just reset the thing back to where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
so how do I set this up so that someone else can operate it while it's being driven? Because there's going to be a gunner seat up in the turret, and then there's two gunner seats on each side for the guys on the machine guns to operate the machine guns individually.
okay, let me see. So there's supposed to be a seat in the turret.
Yeah, there will be.
Yeah, they just need to have the custom turret controllers
So
set
you
to the
just swap
hotbar, and
between the
then they
two. You just swap between the two custom turret controllers then.
yeah. So
Okay, good.
if you're driving and controlling, you need to hop out the custom turret controller, and then the guy need to hop in.
All right.
Uh, but also if you if you move the turret,
Okay. Move it.
wait, wait, for you to see, it might be better if I move it because I set up so it will reset. So if I rotate, get out.
Okay, that's cool.
Check, it's at 1.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
nice.
Yeah. Just going to go here, run. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now it's aiming straight forward. There's like a 1 degree off from what you set.
Hmm.
So if you want it like dead center to look forward, you need to turn the turret to the left and then get out.
As long as it's that close, it'll be fine because you just got to have that opening there for you to hop in the turret and
Like
climb down
right
it.
right now it's like dead forward.
Yeah, but that's easy enough. You can just drop down into the tank if you have to and climb out.
Yes.
So yeah, I always had to do some stuff and fix some crap and throw in some other things. I'm going to put an ammo box on one side here and then throw up a another one of those hanging cockpits on the other side so another player can just hop right up in there and start shooting away. I probably need to add a
Yep.
few more plates on the front here so that I can give it a little bit more protection. But other than that, works pretty good now. I mean, you see this absolute unit of a tank moving towards your base. It's a call for concern.
What would be even more terrifying is if you had two of these tanks moving towards your base.
Oh yeah. I go ahead before anything happens, and I'm gonna make an extra one of these.
Boss, the thing with the script is if you're moving over bumps, the barrel will stay on target because the
Oh,
scripts
nice.
include the stabilization.
Yeah. So there's another one, just in case something stupid happens. I can just grab that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is turned out pretty good, despite all the hiccups I'm having with it. But once everything, it's one of them things that once it gets done and it starts working, it'll work beautifully. But right now, it's just like, we're gonna screw up on several levels over the course of this
Yep.
entire deal.
I'm just out of just curiosity.
Yeah,
How? Yeah, my my latest tag is
it
tiny compared to
it almost run over that thing. Just like you
that.
probably get one skid up over it and just start climbing over the top of it. But yeah, it's not meant to be. This is more of a I'm gonna scare the crap out of you and blast the living hell out of your entire base than
Yep.
practical military. This is what is that one super heavy tank we were gonna use in World War II?
Uh, the Doom Turtle, the
Yes, the
T-95.
Doom Turtle. Yeah, the T-95. This is like the T-95. We're going to penetrate that defense. There's just nothing you can do about it. Here's the
Yep.
biggest chunky tank I can send your direction. Yeah, freaking weather is gonna come along and make everything look stupid. There we go. Get that light
Ah,
back
I
in there.
noticed you're not using the mod that gives us more tank tracks.
Actually, I would love to use that mod.
Yeah, because you get tank tracks from Abrams, Leopard,
Ooh, some
I think
Abrams.
Bradley,
Abrams
some of the
tracks would be awesome.
yeah, some of the Russian tracks you also have for the CV90. My tank look as Bundy pointed out, my tank looks like a small escort tank compared to the Mammoth.
Couple of machine guns on it,
Yeah.
like a quad gun or something. How like four
Also,
of these.
one thing
S
you might not notice with my tank, it actually has two seats.
what is two? I know
Yes,
it's
there's one
got one in
here
the
here in
front,
the
doesn't
back.
it? And then it's got one in the back.
Yeah, there's a small hole here in the back
Oh, you
to
put the flare gun on a rotor as well.
yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I can aim it either forward or straight up.
That's awesome.
Yes, and then some gun racks. I also, because this thing has a large battery, the hydrogen engine, and it cannot run on just a hydrogen engine with all the wheels going.
Hmm.
So I have a event controller, so if the battery gets shot out, it's gonna turn off some of the wheels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to not get or it turns propulsion off on them, so it doesn't override it.
Nice.
Yeah. And also in hopes that for the gun to survive a bit long, I added decoys in the turret cheeks to draw in gunfire.
Now, I will tell you, they did make a change to decoys where if they're not the first thing that's detected,
Yeah,
then it will target the cannon over the decoys.
yeah. Or if you, I think if you have it set by default, it will target the largest mass.
Oh, it'll target the largest mass? Oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's how it is. That it by default it's gonna target the largest thing.
Renegade Bundy. Ah, yes, the small escort tank. fun to just like have four small tanks escorting this monster as it comes in.
Yeah. And also, when I made this tank, by accident I managed to make the front look like the Leopard 1 tanks,
Oh, really? Oh, it does.
which makes it even funner because the turret is based on the Leopard 2.
Yeah, you got that weird wedge thing that they have with their turrets.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that other mod so I can get those tracks because those Abrams tracks will just make this thing look more awesome, make it look more meaner.
See, I'm
Was that
fairly
just a
certain
that's just a
that
track addition mod to it?
see, I think if I search track over, uh, no, apparently not. Okay, wait, hold on, all time. Why is it not showing up when I'm looking at? Oh, it's because I'm looking at scripts, not mods. That's why. Yeah, there we go. I think if you go to it, they even have it listed. No. Oh, it is. It's called Tank Track Pack Maru. So it gives T55, T72 tracks, CV90, T80, Abrams, Leopard 2, and the tracks that has a plus on them are wider. Also, you're looking at ships, by the way.
Okay, where's the mods?
Your category is set to ships in the workshop browse, not mods.
Okay, set to other. Maybe that'll do it. Maybe not. Doesn't seem to be helping.
Yeah, no, I think you need to actually go on the team.
Oh, hang on. We'll just browse workshop here if I can get into it.
Yeah, or I can send you the link to the mod.
Let me just pull this out here. And you said it was tank track.
Maru.
I think I spelled that correctly. Let's take a look here. And I'm
The
looking at it. I don't
oh,
see it.
the screenshot didn't display all of them. So T55, T72, M1 Abrams, Leopard 2 T80, CV90 Mark IV, and then there's also wider version. But then there's also tracks for the M4 Sherman, the T14 American tracks, the Leclerc, and the Tiger 1.
Yeah, it's not showing me right now. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Was that it?
I sent you a link on Discord.
Yeah, I may add that on to the game we're playing because that will just come in handy.
Yeah. Also, I used the salvo script on my AA version of my IFV,
Hmm.
where I have two auto cannons that switch between each other, so there's no delay in firing.
Nice. Like with the F302 I built, it has four of those guns and it uses the salvo to fire, and it gets a pretty brutal fire rate going.
Yeah.
Something about the autocannons in that though, man, it takes like a second, like it's trying to wind up or something. I don't know if I've got the setting too high. I think I got it to like almost 800 rounds a minute is what it could fire, but that's straight up autocannons just ripping through an area. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this Thursday. I'll probably do some more work. We'll do some detail stuff, and I'm probably going to put out a, let's see, we'll put out a small thing. I'll come up with um, four primary colors, and then we'll also do another vote on four secondary colors, and y'all can just pick which one you want.
I
Thursday,
think
I'll do some detail work.
these would probably be better escort for the tank.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna take up missiles very easily.
Hmm. Don't you have a missile version of this thing?
Uh, Not that can launch missile by or that has like missiles on it. I have a radar version of it that can trigger launchers to fire.
Renegade Bundy is wanting to put a 6-barrel turret on your
Yeah, my tank.
tank. Yeah. It looked like something out of Warhammer. What you do with war?
If it's
That's a
if,
lot of the
if it's
Warhammer minis.
ever I just paint it purple and it's all of a sudden a stealth tank.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Should we paint this giant thing purple and make it a stealth tank? There's an idea.
You could make one with like correct colors, and then you can make a purple one with
Oh yeah.
that's like a prototype stealth tank.
Oh yeah. I think it'd just be cool driving it in there with a couple of regular tanks, like they're escorting it into the next fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working out pretty good. I do have to do some small detail work. I got to looking at it last more designs of it. There is a shaft that goes underneath the barrel, and then there's an angular section that comes up over the top of the barrel in one part, which
Oh
will
yeah,
break the barrel up a bit.
I did one time just as a see how it turned out. Make a large grid variant of one of my tanks
Hmm.
that I also called the Mammoth.
Okay, never mind.
It's literally just
Grexion has
a
a bigger tank.
it's literally just a scaled up version of one of my light tanks.
Like, well, it was a good run, folks. I had the biggest tank for a while, and then Grexion dropped this absolute unit. Track system on the wheels on that almost look like a Greyhound.
I also like the way that you enter. There's a small ramp in the back.
Heck yeah, that tank should be.
It's There's not that much in terms of interior.
Well, yeah, it's large block, but it's got some cool stuff in here.
Yep. I don't have. I think I have everything, so I can. Yeah, I can control the gun.
Looks like you're pointing the barrel of a Chippa Rhino at something.
One thing I found funny is someone zooming in at like an open air and like, oh, there's a tank there, and then they zoom out, it's like, wait, hold up. It's like, wait, hold up a second.
Yeah, we're approaching some stuff because I think the Mammoth,
Wait, hold on. Can you
the
copy?
main turrets on
Yeah.
the the machine gun turrets on the Mammoth have now gone out of render. If y'all can see that in the right hand side of the screen, they've gone to simple shapes. I've probably got way too much crap on this world right now. Too many small block vehicles. I'm gonna have to delete some crap.
Oh, it's not letting me drive because you're sitting in a seat.
Oh, okay. Oops. Let me hop on out of here.
I was gonna say if you could spawn one of your tanks in like the firing line of this thing, because I want to see the damage.
Let me see here. Let me put one right here.
I wonder if I can. If this thing suffered the same issue that my light tank, my faction's first tank does. It has horrible depression. I can't aim low enough.
Well, take a shot. We'll see how close you get.
Anyway, hold on. I can turn it because it has better depression on the sides than it does straight forward.
Okay.
Man, I've seen this behemoth move. My tank will shake the earth more than your tank will.
Yeah, I think it took. Did it kill it?
It's rolling backwards, so
Let me see if I can get it to work here. See what I
I
lost.
see. I see the tank tracks are gone.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, I
You put a
shot
hole
through
through
the
it,
side. Yep.
but she's still
Did it come? It
functional.
should have. It shot out the other end as well.
Yeah, I went straight through it, but the Mammoth is still functional. Walking around there. Let me see here.
But wondering where that shot came from, then you look around and you see this.
Yeah. Let me see what this thing's main gun can do to yours. How'd that go down?
This thing is entirely light armor, by the way. You shot through and destroyed the survival kit.
That's on the
That
other
was
side of the
inside.
tank, isn't it? Oh, you hit something vital there. I think you hit the hydrogen tanks in the back. That
Most
might
likely.
have ended the Mammoth. I don't know. She's still functional. You
It
knocked
was
a
it.
hole in the floor.
Huh. That was two large grid railgun shots. It has tanked now.
So we're taking capital ship grade fire at the moment.
Oh well, there goes the gun.
Well, the Mammoth is still king, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if she can turn.
Yep.
Can she turn? Can I take her back over there? Yeah, she took a lot of damage. I mean, that's quite impressive to take a capital ship railgun and not die.
Yep.
I fully expected one of the tracks to just be ripped right off.
I think it did lose one of the
Yeah, I
like
lost the
not
tracks on
quad.
one of the
Yeah.
feet. I can see it now. Actually, two of the tracks. No, three, four, five. Yeah, she lost most of the tracks, but the wheels are still working. Of course, the tracks are kind of
Hmm.
cosmetic anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just drifted this tank.
Yep. Yeah, it's not falling down. That's a good thing. So one thing that's funny about this thing, uh, I only realized it after I had uploaded to my workshop. It has the same amount of assault cannon turret as my Corvette, and only one Gatling turret less.
I love how I
But
can
it's like,
climb out of this tank on a ladder.
yeah, but like a fraction of the cost of one of my Corvettes.
Oh yeah. This is what we were talking about before. One of these what was it called again?
This one is called the Anaconda class heavy gunboat. Uh, but the one it's based on is called the Daring class patrol gunboat.
Yeah, we need something like this on the pirate server. We're doing pirate stuff. Maybe two of these. One lightly armed and one heavily armed like this one.
You just roll with one of these and then one of the Daring class.
Yeah.
I also like how I gave it a
And
little
then
gun sight.
Eli can just bring up the Marines in his little shuttle.
I like how I gave it a little gun sight in the front.
Oh yeah. Really, it looks like the horns on like a horn viper or something.
Also, I did this thing has the same amount of hydrogen tanks as the Daring class, being 4, and
Hmm.
the same amount of oxygen hydrogen generator.
Cool.
But it's still very fuel efficient.
Yeah, this is what we need to bring in. We also need to get that one ship finished up the bounty. Figure out how it's going to work. Yeah, this is just one of the things I'm going to have to get together with Rexy. I want to do the fleet series where we just start going through people's stuff. Yeah, so we have, let's see, thanks to Grexion here. Everybody give him a hand in the chat
Yeah.
for helping
You,
fix up
you
the
know, a fully
tanks.
functioning tank.
Yes, get the turrets on the tank working exactly the way we want. I'm gonna head to bed now because that's just been too much to deal with. I'll read through a few more comments. I think Renegade's still here.
Yep.
Ah, yes, the Goliath barbarian version of stealth, pure intimidation. So what you're saying is we need two servers, one for building and the other for pirate survival. And then I think the last one here, I think my turret will be better for one shot blasting Badger's mammoth. It would just be the case of who shoots first. Yeah. The mammoth is doing pretty good. I mean once I get it all painted and all the
Oh,
parts.
Badger, one thing you could add to your Mammoth tank.
Yeah.
A friend showed me this. For some reason, if you have a sensor
Hmm.
uh, in front of the camera, and then you have in your settings see sensor range,
Hmm.
if you have the edge of the sensor be just where like at the camera lens, it gives you night vision.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so if you have a sensor and you set the sensor field, so it's just in front of the camera where you're looking, it gives you night vision.
Okay, we're gonna have to do that next time. Put night vision on the frickin' tank. I'm gonna put a disclaimer at turn on sensor field range.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, this thing is gonna be this is gonna be one of the cooler builds that I've done. Because it's just capable of getting from point to point B and it's doing exactly how it's supposed to. And like I said, in the last live stream I did, this thing went up there and just wrecked the one base up there with a couple of clean shots.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to inspire a destroyer in the process. So it's a lot of things are happening with this bad boy, making it look good. Let me turn the weather off so everything looks nice.
I
There we
mean,
go.
one thing that having the rocket pods on the side and then the enormous amount of or like the huge amount of assault cannons you have, it reminds me a bit of the Ontos,
Oh
where like
yeah.
you have spotting rockets.
No, we have spotting rockets and then the cannons.
Yeah, instead
Run.
of
They
with
hit
the
us with an
Ontos.
RPG. What's next?
Yeah,
The
with
gigantic
the
cluster
Ontos, like
cannon.
yeah, each barrel has a 50 caliber spotting rifle.
We have two perforator rocket pods and two massive clusterfuck assault cannon turrets.
Yep. Like
We will make tons
rolling
of
up to
holes
an
in
enemy,
you.
like rolling up to an enemy base, be like, "You're surrounded. Do you surrender?" No. All right, bring the mammoth up here.
Oh, that's like they did that once. The U.S. did. I think it was during it
Yeah,
was one of the Cuban
it.
Wars,
Mm,
but they didn't do it
ye-
with a. I think they used either a vigilante or an
They use a
Avenger.
Vulcan.
Yeah, it had a Vulcan minigun on it, and they're just holed up inside of a
No,
like a mission.
I believe the vehicle itself was called the Vulcan Air Defense System.
Yeah, and they pull up with this thing, the American us
Yeah,
Americans do, and we tell them,
you're
surrender, and they
surrounded.
go, never, and we're like, okay, just let loose
Bring
one
the
good,
Vulcan up here.
yeah, just let loose a burst from it, like annihilated the front door off the mission, and they come out and they were like, hey, about that surrendering, maybe we want to quit this. That was the first time I think anyone in the world had ever seen a weapon like that because we were the first country to come up with the minigun concept. And there was
Yep.
like a big push to do it because once the guy that came up with it throwed the idea at Congress and said, hey, here's what I can do, or sent it to the Department of the Military. And they immediately took it to the president and said, we need to build this because it's such a simple concept and most of the technology was already built at the time. It was
I
just taking
know.
a Gatling gun and just hooking a motor to it. We need to do this first because if we don't, Russia's going to figure it out and then they're going to do it. And so it was like there's a race to get to the minigun. And Russia didn't even know the race started.
I know the worst air defense vehicle the US has made was called a Sergeant York.
Oh, yes.
Because one, to cut
And that
down
was
costs, was like,
sad
let's
because his
use a
wife was there
pattern
when that thing
tank
fucked up.
hull. It's like, let's use a pattern tank hull.
Yeah.
They didn't upgrade the engines, and it was meant to keep up with the Abrams. With
Yeah.
an underpowered engine, it's like, yeah, good luck. And then to track and shoot down air targets, they put a radar from an F-16 on it,
Which is a
who got
completely
like
which for
literally
those listening, that's a
everything.
completely different radar. You're talking about a radar designed for three to be moving and finding targets in a three-dimensional space
Yeah,
versus a
where
ground
it's
radar, which is to find targets popping up over trees.
yeah, it's like which is also the where the story that when they turned it on first, it swung around and aimed at a porta potty, then it
Yeah.
swung around and aimed at
And
hot metal
that was because they
with
set the radar,
politicians on it.
but that was because they set the radar to detect a fluctuating radar cross section similar to that of a
Well,
helicopter, and
I think
because
they
there was a
set it to
cooling
track.
fan inside of it.
I'm
There was
fairly certain they set it to track heat signature, and the hot metal bleacher that had been out
yeah.
all day was like the biggest heat signature it could find.
And the worst part is Sergeant York's elderly wife was sitting on that bench.
Yeah, it was sitting there.
And apparently everyone jumped off that thing hard enough to, I think a senator broke his ankle.
Yeah, that was
I was like, oh God, it's over now.
yeah,
Yeah, your tank no longer, your anti-air system no longer exists. We're
yeah.
sorry.
Which I've seen some people say they should bring back the Ontos, but instead but give it like flechette ammunition to shoot down drones.
I think you could probably build a series of them because one of the things that irritates me is they're telling the Marines they don't need armored vehicles, and the Marines, to an extent, the U.S. Marines don't care. If Congress tells
I
them
like
not to carry, if
I like
here,
the Marine when it came to the Ontos, where they're like the army was originally interested, but then they saw the back blast of all 6 barrels shooting,
Hmm.
and they're like, yeah, no, that it's too dangerous, and also you need to step out to shoot. And the Marine was like, I'll take three
Yeah,
hundred.
yeah. I think you could build an Ontos tank, and instead of recoilless rifles, you could probably set it up to probably three good-sized tows,
I was gonna say instead of recoilless rifle, you give it 6 miniguns.
or just give it like a minigun for defense, and then just add like probably like six tows for it, because the toad is not going to need a spotting rifle. You said the minigun is like your just set the minigun like right up next to the turret on like a remote system. Just a real simple
I mean,
one.
they could have two gun barrels, and then above it's like two tow launchers.
Yeah, and you still get and with that was back in the day when we built tanks with steel armor a lot. Now I think Europe and the US kind of build composited armors. And the composite armors you could build nowadays to withstand like if you're trying to fight drone attacks, you don't need steel to withstand a drone attack. What you need is a composite armor that's more of a lattice structure, which would absorb the impact of the blast and just put a little bit of steel behind it to, or something like aluminum with a Kevlar coating on it for an anti-spall, and that would prevent a lot of your drones from hitting it. Like you probably fuck up the guns real good, but the crew inside would be alive, which is what the U.S. does all the time. And then you still have a tank you can load up into the back of a C-130 and just parachute it into wherever. And that would be perfect for the Pacific Theater.
As, as Bundy wrote in chat, autocannon shotgun with flechette rounds.
Oh yes, yes, that would be awesome.
I mean,
That's
I
exactly what
want,
this thing is. It fires a whole bunch. It's just a shot. It's just two big double barrel shotguns firing at the same time.
I wonder, like, if you took like the biggest manufacturer of tanks
Hmm.
and put all of them in a competition, saying, we wanted to design essentially a siege vehicle. It needs to have a 120 millimeter cannon, and there needs to be 6 of them.
Yeah,
It's
or
go like,
really just do
it
like the
out.
Ontos. You just do like the Ontos. Just go out there. This is the one thing. Here's the thing. Okay, I'll get political here
Almost
for a
but
minute.
bigger.
I like Trump. I like a lot of things that Trump does, purely for the fact that you are not going to get anything done in this country with someone who wants to sit up there and speak softly. Okay, that's never going to happen. You need somebody who's rough and going to, just call somebody a fat bitch at some point in time and get away with it. The thing I disagree with him on was when he came out and said that you needed HB1 visas because he said there's no talent in the country. The United States is pouring tens of millions of dollars into a new project right now, and they've bought into an experimental company to create a new type of heads up display for all the troops that will provide
Yeah,
them
I
real
saw.
time data. They'll be able to see these guys. It'll use its own
Yeah.
night vision, all sorts of really cool stuff. Basically, give you video game HUD on a battlefield. Some
From what I
jackleg
saw,
on the internet. Here's how stupid this is. Some jackleg on the internet in the United States saw this system, said, "That's cool. I'd like to build it," and built it in his garage. He not only built it, he built a built-in camera system for the gun so that when your gun comes into the line of sight of where your target is, the entire silhouette of that person lights up green, and you have a little red dot showing the probability of where that frickin' bullet is going to hit when the first one
oh, I
comes out of your
didn't know
gun.
that. What I saw, it was you could see allies through walls if they were wearing the same headset,
Yes,
and
yes,
you
yes.
and
He's this
an
guy. This guy
ally,
in his garage did all that. Added Google Glass to the system. Added
yeah, and
Google
if
Maps
an
to it.
ally sees
All the
a
source,
hostile,
all the
you
sorts
will
of
see
stuff.
the hostile through the wall.
Do you know how much his system cost?
Nope.
$100.
Huh.
And I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, we've got plenty of talented people. The government is just not looking in the right places. Used
I
to,
mean,
used to like in World War II, we were like, and I know this because there was a guy in my hometown. They offered him so much money for a bomb, and the military was offering like so much per bomb per tonnage or like per weight. So like a 200-pound bomb would be this much, a 300-pound bomb would be that. And people were making bombs in their garage. And this one guy in my town decided, F it, I'm going to make a 102,000-pound bomb so they can really blow some Germans up. And the government couldn't take it because they were like, yeah, we don't have an aircraft that can lift that thing. It's one bomb. We need a bunch of bombs to pepper an area. So then later on, his kids found out about it. And they're down there, touching this thing. They're like, Grandpa, why you got this oil tanker in here? He goes, that's not an oil tanker. That's a freaking bomb. Y'all didn't hit it with a
I mean,
hammer, did you? They're like, no. So
I
then
mean
the
that's not
entire
as
town,
crazy
oh, dude, our
as
entire
finding out.
town went into lockdown almost immediately because they up and call the law, and the law comes out there and they're like, so what's going on? Grandpa has a bomb in the back. Yeah, right. Go back there and look. Like, yep, that's a bomb, all right. So they had to go into his basement. Fortunately, he had like a ramp that went down to his basement, so he could bring a car down there and work on it. Had to go in there. Bomb squad had to take this 100,000-pound bomb up, put it onto a trailer. They had to pull it out via a tractor, took it out to a field, and shook our entire town when they control detonated this thing.
I mean that reminds me. I think it was in Germany. It was an old man. Um, he had a like in his basement. He had a fully functional Tiger One tank,
Oh yes, everyone
and
should
when
have that.
the army came and took it because he wasn't allowed to have a fully functional tank, they asked around the neighbors and like if they'd seen it. Like, yeah, we've seen it. He uses to plow the neighborhood like during winter.
Well, heck, right after World War II, there was a mission in the United States, I think in Chicago, and they needed a bulldozer. So the military just went in there and just handed them a functional Sherman Grizzly and just strapped a plow to the front of it. And that was their bulldozer. Just donated it to the Catholic Church. The little nuns are driving a Sherman out there and pushing brush into a pile with it. I'm telling
I
you,
mean,
there's some
funny.
there's
Yeah,
some
like there's funny thing people have done with military equipment.
there's some fun stuff that happened in history. Like where I'm at in Missouri, there was actually a point where the local good old boys who were fighting in the Civil War, finally the Union had enough of their shit, and they come down there with several thousand men to deal with a couple hundred raiders. And they're running these guys. Basically, they're orphan boys who grew up wild and decided they wanted to get revenge on everyone who had killed their family members, which is mostly people in Kansas. That's why if you ever watch the movie with Clint Eastwood, Outlaw Josie Wales, there's a scene in there where Josie Wales is inside the convenience store and the guy is talking to this one little woman from Kansas, and she's a prude. And he's talking to her, telling her all this stuff. And he gets to the point and he says, I've got this from this state and that from that state. And then he gets to sorghum. He says, and I got good fresh sorghum from Missouri. And the woman stops, looks at him, and goes, nothing good ever came out of Missouri. The reason being is we butchered and slaughtered a bunch of cans. It's also kind of the reason people ask me a lot of times. They're like, why is it when Missouri loosens their gun laws, Kansas loosens two more, and then we loosen two more guns? It's because we both know the other guy. We know what each other are capable of. And if we look weak, we know we're going to get fucked. That's how that works. But they had this battle over there at this bluff called Chalk Bluff, right around the St. Francis River. And so the Union all roll up there, and they're like, "Okay, we got them in the bluff." They start amassing troops, and they're going to come down in the morning and just slaughter all the raiders that are down there. And the raiders are like, they're getting ready. They're loading up pistols. They're like, "Yeah, all right, time to die. We're going to fight to the last man." And then this Texas kid comes in and he goes, "Hey guys, I got an idea." And he shows off that they can build this pontoon bridge. And they managed to build these pontoon bridges that were, I think, about 8 feet in length, and six guys could carry one of them over onto the bridge. They could lash it together, and this thing was stiff enough, made from just local materials, that it was, and wide enough that it would support, I think, 6 men marching in column, or a single horse wagon, which would carry like a cannon or something. And the next is so funny because the next morning is The Union general walks out there. He's fixing to do stuff, and he's got his morning cup of coffee, and he looks out there over the battlefield of what's about to happen, and he looks and he sees this bridge that is not on any map, and he sees a bunch of raiders going across the bridge, across St. Francis, and a bunch of other dudes running around there keeping the fires going, making a bunch of noise because first light's hitting. He's like, what the fuck? So he rallies all the troops. They run down there, charge in. The Raiders cut the bridge completely out. So once they start chopping the bridge loose, it just starts floating on down. So the Union has no way getting across. The other guys who are keeping the fires going, they jump into St. Francis and swim across it. The Union all compressed down into Chalk Bluff, and they're sitting in there like they can't cross the St. Francis. It's just too much. All their guys get in there, they're gonna lose most of their army. And then because Jesse James is over there, Mad Jack Holiday, Quantrill Williams, Bloody Bill, all these really, really bad dudes who end up becoming some of the most ruthless outlaws America has ever seen, suddenly decide, you know what? They're all stuck on that side of the river. Let's shoot at them.
Eh,
Start firing back. And the Raiders the Missouri Raiders were like a loose military. There would be cavalry divisions, infantry groups, fast action groups, artillery groups. I think there was a minigun division. I think it was like a Gatling gun division. They had actually everything they had, they captured and they operated. And so if you wanted to go attack a fort and you needed like cannons and infantry, you go hook up with another couple of raiders who would have some cannons that operated as an artillery unit and the other guy who operated as a pure infantry unit. And they were like, hey, we're going to go raid this place and take a whole bunch of stuff and we're going to make a bunch of money selling it all. You want to go with us? Yeah. They go in there and they'd hit a fort or they'd hit a group of guys and they just work together. So they had all this equipment they've been taken from the Union, and they just start dropping mortars. They start sending cannonballs their direction, and the Union is then in this bad process because the moment they start firing, that's when the first group of Union soldiers, the first wave, decides, fuck this, let's get out of here. They turn around and they start running out of the, they try to get out. Well, as they run out, they run smack into the second, third, fourth, and fifth wave of Union soldiers who, when they see those guys leaving, start calling them cowards and everything, trying to make them drive them back into the fight because they're like, y'all just ain't willing to fight nobody. Then they get down there and it's like, oh fuck, there ain't no winning this fight. Turn around, it turns into this big clusterfuck before it's over
I
with.
mean, I mean, there is a saying that you don't call the Marines unless you want something dead or pregnant.
Yes. That's
And I've
exactly
seen
right.
videos of um, like when it comes to like military stuff, like grunts on the ground and then free time always ends up in weird shit.
Oh yeah. Look up gun
Like
trucks from Vietnam.
I saw a clip from a training exercise where they had strapped loudspeakers to a Apache helicopter.
Oh yes. They start blasting rock and roll and stuff like that.
No, it was blasting. It was some like techno music as it was firing off rockets.
See, this is the other thing I like with the army a lot of times because each military does something stupid like that. Poland, their armor divisions will blast Sabaton as they start tearing through there. I think it's like through the gates of hell or Primo
Yeah.
Victoria is the name of the song. They will start blasting that as their armor divisions will start going down the. There's one where they're actually running down the road in an APC, like a BTR, and as it blasts by, you hear
I mean,
through the gates of hell.
one funny thing I saw from the Swedish military,
Mm,
because Sweden, we use a Swedish version of the Leopard 2 tank that has more armor than the normal one. There was an exercise near a town that had a drag racing strip.
mhm.
So they rolled up a Leopard 2 tank and a CV-90 and drag raced them.
Well, it's like what was it? Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking about that, where they were playing tanks, and he had the
Yeah,
old
they're
Russian tank.
driving down a hill.
Yeah, he had the old Russian tank, and the other guy had a more modern tank. Told him his tank was better, And so they
Yeah,
just took off racing and forgot that they had like a whole crew of
yeah,
dudes on
they had
top of it.
buddies
They were
waiting
knocking
for
them off the wooded area.
he got an ass chewing by his CO.
Yeah, I think it got even worse because they found out that he had taken his entire tank maintenance kit out of the tank and installed a whole bunch, like an entire weight setter there, so he could keep pumping iron while he was out in the field. It's just fun
Yeah,
stories like that. Those are the ones you want to hear about. And everyone, like, everyone talks like they want to hear like the combat stuff and everything. Nah, it's the fun stories of the military are the stupid ones. Like, what is the they did some movie a while back and it was an actual event. The military goes in to get this dude out of this one unit, and they were like, okay, we went in to get this guy who's a major. And they get there and they go, it says here you are a major. So we need you to go in there because all the majors are needed. And he goes, well, my middle name, he said, my first name is Major. My last name is Johnson or something like that. And he goes, your dad named you Major? And he goes, yes, sir. Kind of a funny joke in his idea. He was like former
oh,
Army or something like that.
oh,
So the
Major,
military
Major.
guys are sitting there, the officers, they're like, fuck, we thought he was a
I think they
major.
made I think they made a movie of him. Wasn't he called like Major Major?
Yes, Major, Major. And so
Yeah,
they they were sitting there and they're like, oh, what the fuck are we gonna do? Because we need a major. And the other guy goes, you could give him a field promotion, make him a major, and then everything will be fine. And he goes, all right, the power invests in me. You're now a major. He goes, what? He goes, you're now a major. You're a major, major. Just get in the damn Jeep. Ended up going there in like his skivvies. He's sitting in there,
well,
a brand new major, doesn't know, and he's going through like the
uh,
top brass
one
stuff.
they wrote in chat that there were two groups of Germans that were scared of the U.S. and Aussie Bushmen. That reminds me that in the war in the Pacific, the Japanese thought that the Marines were all recruited from prisons and insane asylums.
Oh yeah. Like with a lot of the people that went in there, like my uncle, I had an uncle went to World War II when he was over there. And there were some Germans that absolutely hated him because he did crap that would almost get him in trouble a lot of times. Like in one instance, there was a group of guys that got pinned down by German machine gun fire. And at the time, you had this thing where you did not fire a machine gun over the top of your own men. And my uncle was so intent on killing Germans, and he was German himself, but he had kind of just he'd given up on his own people and decided, screw it, they're done, I'm done. And so he jumps up on, I think, like a T4. It's like a heavy tank the U.S. had, racks up the 50 cal on it, and started lobbing 50 cal over the top of our guys who were crawling, stopped the fire on them long enough that they could crawl up to the position and grenade it. And he's sitting there fixing to face court martial, and that entire unit shows up and said, yeah, if you court martial him, we will stop following orders and protest, and you will have to find another unit. And they were like an assault unit or something that had been specifically trained to take bunkers and stuff like that. That was their job, was to hit fortified positions. And the army was like, yeah, we can't lose these guys right now. At this point in the war, we kind of need them. So they were like, back. They said, they looked at my uncle and said, "Don't you be firing bullets over the top of our guys anymore." And his
Yeah.
response was, and we always talked to him about it later, and we was like, "Did you ever do it again?" He goes, "Oh yeah, plenty of times." He said, "Just we all just made sure no one knew about it." He had so much shrapnel in his body. My dad told me a story one time. Said he got real sick one time. Had something happen to his spine, and it was a piece of shrapnel moved against his spine and just paralyzed him from the waist down for a while. And they
I
took him to the
know.
doctor, gave him an X-ray to try and go in and surgically fix him. And the doctor comes back and said, Yeah, there's nothing I can do. We just have to hope that the metal moves, that whatever it is, moves off his spine eventually. And the whole family's like, you need to go in there and fix him. They're starting to give the doctor a fit. And the doctor goes, you don't understand. Your uncle glows on the X-ray. We can't see bone. We can't see a skeleton. He glows like he's radioactive. They said, and we know it's because of the shrapnel. And if I put him in an MRI, the shrapnel that's metal is going to get ripped through his body and probably tear him to pieces. The best thing we could do without going in blind is for him to just go home and rest. And he had to stay home. And after a while, it moved off. I remember when I was younger, when he was really old, he was sitting there with us on the couch one day and he started picking at something on his arm. He's picking and picking and picking, and he pulls out a piece of rolled steel that was inside of his arm, just kind of pulls out like a couple inches of it. And I was like, Uncle, what was that? And he goes, that is the end of one of those potato beater grenades. That was
Uh,
from a German. They had taught, he mentioned, he said that must have been at such and such fight that they were having, and a German tossed a grenade in there, and they jumped out of the trench instead of somebody hitting it, they jumped out and just decided to attack for some reason, and it blew up, and a couple of them caught shrapnel. He talks about some wild stuff there. He's at the Bulge and talked about it. He said it was like dead quiet, and then just everything went to hell. And their commander didn't want to leave. They're like holding position, and he kept telling his commander and the other guys were telling him, "Look, we're getting hit by artillery, we're getting hit with machine gun fire. The other lines are pulling back. We need to pull back with them." And their commander just he was a new guy and he didn't want to leave. And he tells my uncle, he says, "Lift me up." And my uncle said, I lifted him up and a bomb went off right next to us. He lets the guy back down and a piece of shrapnel from that bomb had come across, hit that sergeant right in the side of his jaw, cut through his cheek, busted every tooth out, and then ripped out the other side of his jaw. And the way he described it, it looked like Keith Ledger's Joker. But you know how he's got the cuts on both sides of his mouth. I said he's sitting there with a jaw that's only partially working, and the sergeant starts screaming, "Retreat, retreat!" as he's spitting blood and teeth out. He said that was. He said a lot of stuff was crazy. He was
wait,
always the guy that told us. He was
there
like,
is there is one guy. 'Cause I recently saw a video from the Fat Electrician of him, Robert Howard, who
"Mm,
uh, the Fat Electrician called the most gangster Green Beret.
"Oh yeah,
Where in his later days he was doing like parachute jumping in the army, like I think reserve. His parachute doesn't open, he slams the ground, and when the medics run there, he's sitting there rolling up his parachute and saying, "If this shit gets any harder, I'm gonna have to quit."
yeah." Like I
And
remember. I
he fought in the Vietnam War, and apparently the Vietcong when they found out like the Green Beret when they was flying to make like a path for downed pilots, they would send a team to follow those Americans. Robert Howard, he would take with him an orange like supply crate that he filled with fucking C4 and like 100 ball bearings, and he would dump it out, and the Vietnam would think like, oh, they were in such a rush that they didn't grab their supply crate. They would open it and would detonate it.
That's some Canadian war crime shit right there.
Yep.
That's like if you ever look up the war crimes, I think someone was talking about I think it was
I
Fat
mean, half
Electrician talking
the
about it. He said
Geneva
the
Convention
whole like the first two
Canada.
pages is nothing but crap Canada did.
Like most of the shit is made by either Canada, Germany, or Japan.
Yeah. We've done a few things, but most of that was done most of the war crimes that have been committed by the US have been during the Civil War. And that was before Geneva, so nobody cares.
Yeah. I mean, I also like that um, a chicken farmer essentially helped the British and the US win, um, well, or aided in reducing casualties on D-Day. Because he was pissed with I think it was Spanish, and then later on, essentially he lied to and became a spy for Germany. Well, he's given a bullshit information because he couldn't get into Britain,
Hmm.
so he essentially just lied about shit that he could read from like books in a library or in a newspaper,
Hmm.
and then he essentially lied that he had a whole spy network in Britain with people he made up. The
Hmm.
Germans were actually sending him money to pay out for his
Pavlov.
spy network.
I think his name was
Yeah,
Pavlov. There's
no,
a funny story.
Agent Garbo.
He's who?
Agent Garbo.
Aiden Garbo. I think
Yeah,
was him.
and
Pavlov must have been
I
one of the original Glorious Bastards, I think.
yeah, and then later
I
on, like he missed something, and the German was like, "Why didn't your spy, who's stationed near this naval base, report on this?" And he goes, oh, "That's because he died." And he actually made the British government put in the newspaper a obituary for this guy.
yeah, I think he was the one that I think he went to
It's like,
Havana, Cuba for a little bit.
yeah, because he was afraid that um,
And
people
while
in
he
Germany
was Yeah, and while he
would
was
speak
there,
about
he happened to
revenge.
run into Ian Fleming, who wrote James Bond before he
Yep,
wrote James Bond, and the two of them kind of hit it off, and they talked for a bit, and I think Ian Fleming, that's what he based James Bond off of, was him.
yep. Another funny thing is also how the US managed to weaponize Christmas lights.
Oh yeah. Oh, the like cellular signal. You know how we got cell phones?
Yeah, but no, like with the Christmas lights, they made it was for the VT fuse for artillery shells.
Hmm.
So they went to General Electric and said, "You're no longer making Christmas lights. You're making a small vial filled with acid that they were gonna put in those artillery shells."
Yeah. I don't. Were they artillery shells or were they anti-air shells?
It might
Because one of them
probably
had to
they were
have,
anti-air shell.
yeah,
They were
they had to have a
anti-air shell
small
with a
radar
small
inside of them.
Doppler radar. Yeah, a
Yeah.
small Doppler radar, and they had lead wafers inside it with a vial, and the vial would break when you fired it, and the centrifugal force would push that acid out to the side, making a battery in flight to power the radar.
Yeah. The the reason the story how we got cell phones is wild because the woman who invented cellular communication, she did so because we were starting both sides of Germany and the US were trying to experiment with remote torpedoes, and we actually used them once or twice. Both sides did. And Germany used them to pretty good effect. And then both sides began to figure out if you're firing off a torpedo, if you get the right the right radio frequency, you can take control of that torpedo. You can turn it back around and send it back to where it came from. Well, this one woman, her husband, I want to say he turned her over to the Nazis and she escaped somehow, um, trying to save his own skin. She turns around after that's over with and goes to the United States, and she says she and her husband have been working on a concept called cellular communication, and she said it would make a radio guided torpedo unhackable at the time. And so the government threw all kinds of money at her. And she was asked once why she done that. And she said, I knew my traitorous ex-husband would get on a U-boat. He had to be sent from one place to the next onto an island and back to Germany. And one of the ways they transported him was by U-boat. He would hop into a U-boat and they'd transport him back over there so none of the allies or the spies could find him. And she said, it was my hope that one of our radio controlled torpedoes would kill that bastard.
Yeah. But also thanks to the Fat Electrician and his second channel called the Fat Files,
Hmm.
I got to learn one thing I didn't expect. So I've heard some crazy story about Waffle House,
Oh
about
yeah.
how like fights break out and so forth.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
did not
common.
know I did not know that the founder was actually part of the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, if Colonel Sanders, you ought to look up Colonel Sanders sometimes. Like
Yeah,
the first real thing that Colonel Sanders ever done. I tell people all the time, it is no wonder the stereotype of black people liking fried chicken. I'm not being racist here, folks. I'm just pointing a fact.
chicken is
If I were to
delicious.
tell you that a young entrepreneur down on his luck was fighting with a rival group of people and they decide to interfere with his business, so him and his homie go out there to deal with this, to confront this guy, and next thing you know, the other guy decides he's going to shoot, and this young man sees his best friend get shot in the chest, so he takes up arms, runs after this man, shoots and kills him, ends up being considered self-defense when it's over with because he's defending his best friend. Later on, goes out there and develops one of the most addictive substances known to man, starts making money off of it. No, that's not Compton. That is just the first 2 years of Colonel Sanders being a historical figure. Because he did that. They went out and whitewashed a bunch of his signs. His rival gas stop did. And when Colonel Sanders showed up there, the guy who did it panicked, ran to his truck, pulled out a 12 gauge, fired it, missed Sanders, hit his best friend, and Sanders just goes nuts, grabs his gun, runs after the dude, and the guy turns around, still having the shotgun in hand, and Sanders just peppers him right in the chest, kills him instantly. Stays there with his buddy. Somehow his buddy survives. And then he goes on and invents like an oil pressure cooker. He takes a French steam pressure cooker, fixes a few of the O-rings and everything in it with a stronger O-ring seal, and then creates an oil pressure cooker which cooks chicken in about 5 minutes. And so he's
I
deep
mean,
frying fried chicken in 5 minutes where it normally takes like 12.
but did you do you know the most gangster politician in U.S. history?
I don't know the name, but I do know that he beat the hell out of a dude with a cane in the middle of Congress one time. And everyone just
Cash.
watched.
I was gonna say Cassius Marcellus Clay.
Yes.
He was like he was challenged so many times. Um, I think it was a relative or a friend that was voting for Congress, I think. Cassius got challenged so many times and he won so many times in duels that it could be considered voter fraud.
Yeah, early days of the United States is just people don't realize it. It's like with Australia. Bundy will love this one. It's like Australia used to be a prison, a penal colony, and now you have Australia, and you've got crazy Australians running around doing Mick Dundee shit all the time. The United
I mean,
States, the United States
it
at
reminds
one
me.
time was
I've heard
a
some people
haven.
say that Australia is just British people that have specced out their tech tree.
Yeah, uh, America when it first started. If you look at who they start calling in to help out, it's like former killers, former mercenaries. At one point, the U.S. says, "Hey, we need a navy." They get a pirate, go out there, build
Yeah.
a navy, and he's like the most terrifying dude the British ever seen. They're like, yeah, we've got all kinds of. It's history on stuff is awesome, especially like when you start looking up like other history and stuff like that. Have you ever seen Forgotten Weapons where they talk about the what is it? The first battle to have repeating arms in it.
Yep.
It's the Finns. The Finns are getting into a fight with the Swedes, I think, and someone tells the Finns, I can't remember who it was. I think it was either the Polish or the Austrians, told the Finns how long the Swedish attack ladders were going to be. So they had these ladders they put out over the water and they were going in. And the Finns, being ruthless bastards that they are, went down there and chopped the ice. And the Finnish army gets done chopping the ice to the royal palace. And they're like, yeah, see what we did? And the Finnish royal guard shows up. And Sweden's coming in there and they're sitting there looking, they're like, hey, a Finnish royal guard, look here, we busted up all the ice. They're going to have to now march across this stone bridge towards us. And the Finnish royal guard's like, yeah, did you see our new rifles we got? And they had a flintlock rifle that fired, that was like having two Henry rifles in your hand. This thing could carry 30 shots. And I think one of the Swedish captains wrote in a diary who survived the battle, wrote in his diary afterward, he said, it was the most ungodly, continuous fire we had ever dealt with. Apparently, they just lined up and just started blasting. And it
Yep.
was like a lever action rifle. You just levered it one time. It would cock, prime your pan, load your ball, load your powder, load a wad, and everything would just be set in just one swift motion, which took really relatively about 2 or 3 seconds if you're being generous with the time. I don't know how it would be if you were like ratcheting it fast.
Also, speaking of Sweden, I recently read recently Sweden has unveiled the world's first fifth generation submarine.
I'm not surprised. They have been really pushing some tech. They
I mean,
they're the ones that pioneered the
there's the story of the Swedish diesel submarine sneaking past the U.S. Navy and taking pictures of an aircraft carrier
oh yeah,
during, during the war.
they developed one like
It's an
years
air
ago.
independent. It's an air independent system. It's using like uh, it's like frozen. It's not like the oxygen is like frozen in tanks that
Hmm.
it's using, so it can use its diesel engines while submerged.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's
Yeah,
almost
and
as
apparently,
cool. What was it? The Oscar submarines? They would use a liquid lead shielding system that
yep,
cooled the reactor and shielded you from the radiation at the same
that
time.
is almost as cool as the Swedish Visby class corvette, which is a stealth ship.
Hmm.
During a war game, they actually needed to put radar reflectors on it because it didn't show up on anyone's radar. So in order to avoid the ship colliding during the war game, they actually put radar reflectors on it so people could see it.
Like the reverse George Carlin flamethrower joke. We want to paint them dark brown so that we can't see them. We need to paint your submarine bright yellow so we can see it. Well, that's what happens when when you have a purple submarine.
Yep. But this new submarine from Sweden will apparently be able to fire off Tomahawk cruise missiles.
That's a big advantage with a stealth sub.
Yep.
Now, if we could just get
Uh,
the big dogs in the
I read.
EU to stop doing bullcrap with the US, we could all get along.
Yeah. So, like from what I read, it can fire. It will be able to fire off Tomahawk cruise missiles or other drones.
Oh, the drone part is actually pretty cool. I don't think there's a submarine that does that yet.
Now, with drones, I don't know if they mean other like guided missiles or um, be able to fire off like loiter drone or scout drones.
Yeah. Probably be able to fire something with a switchblade style wing system out the missile
I
tube.
mean,
And it'd be
Sweden
able to.
made a very effective counter
Hmm.
drone, so to say. It's a essentially a small like missile you get in like a black like supply crate. There's I think it's like 10 of them, and I think they cost like $2,000 a piece. They
That's
just
pretty
shoot
cheap.
up. Yeah, they just shoot up and fly towards any incoming drones, like the FPV drones that are being used in Ukraine.
I saw one video that's absolutely keeps me up at night every so often. And it is two Russian guys during the Ukraine war. And this was early in the Ukraine war. And some guy had built a custom drone. And this thing is at night. There's no wind. These two Russians are moving along through the brush, and about 5 or 6 feet behind them is this drone just hovering, watching them with night vision on. And they have no fucking clue it's there. And they're running, they're constantly moving, and it's just keeping pace with them. And finally, one of they get down on the ground and they squat down to figure out what they're going to do. And you see this drone just zoom in on this guy's back it has some kind of hook in it. It lands into the hook netting into the back of his back, and then everything goes snow white. And I'm like,
I sent.
bro, you didn't hear that thing from 8 feet away. That is terrifying that you can build a quad rotor that you cannot hear that joker. That's like a night owl marking hawks. If you've ever seen an owl mark a hawk, like a barn owl, come in
Yeah,
there,
no, I have.
it just comes in there and just snatches them off, and the hawks just have no idea what's happened. Bobby just got taken, and they don't know what took him because they didn't hear jack shit.
Yeah. Well, I sent a picture of how that anti-drone. It's just a crate that's connected up to like a portable like anti-air radar.
Yeah.
You see, like they're not big, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, they don't have to be. Like, and you're considering what you're trying to kill with, it doesn't take a whole lot of explosives to kill a human being. And in some instances, if you've got the right um, either propellant or accelerant, and there is a difference between the two, everyone, you can take out relatively a lot of heavily armored vehicles. But
It like if you hit the right point, doesn't take much to take something out.
mm-mm. Like, I think they were experimenting at one point with. That's why Russia was pulling up cages. It wasn't that they were dropping. I think some guy told me he said it wasn't that they were dropping bombs on the tanks. It was that someone came up with a bright idea of using a canister of thermite, and they would just land it on the exhaust port of the tank
Yeah,
and just start dropping thermite into the engine, and that would kill it. That was enough to take the tank out. That's why they kept putting cages and lattices and all this other crap up there. And
yeah, the famous Russian turtle tanks.
oh yeah, and I'm looking at a lot of this stuff thinking it's just a matter of time for somebody straps an AI on one of them things and sends it on a like a pretty brutal AI, just brute simple, and
I
just
mean,
sends it on a kill mission.
recently I saw a video of uh, like Ukrainian field engineers controlling a remote control turret with a Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, like
Like
Israel
you,
was
you,
doing that.
you can run anything on the fucking Steam Deck.
Israel was doing that with an Xbox controller back in the early 2000s with the Makarov. They were testing out because Israel, the way they operate, totally different from everyone else. They put the
Yeah,
engine in
like
front of the tank, so
yeah,
they've
so
got
the engine
more.
will be extra armor.
Yeah, it's just extra armor. They are low on manpower, so everything they've got has got to keep the manpower because that's the most expensive and most difficult thing to replace.
It's
And
also similar to what Sweden did with the CV90, where the CV90 also has its engine in the front.
yeah, so what they were doing was they were experimenting with that's where our modern remote control or Europe's and the West's remote controlled turret systems are coming from. They were sitting in the back with like an Xbox controller running it, and I think somebody was interviewing them when they were doing that. And they said most kids nowadays, the people that have to run this thing are young men, and most young men know how to operate an Xbox controller. That's why
Yeah,
they picked an Xbox
it,
controller.
yeah, like there is proof that like they're looking at like what do the like each like generation like what are they good at like I think it's like World War II they made the grenade that's like the shape of a baseball
Hmm.
or like the exact same weight and size as a baseball
Maybe try to
because
make
they
a
knew that,
football version of that
that
too.
yeah like that generation was good at throwing a baseball and then they made one that was like an American football.
Might be a lot of explosives in that.
Yep.
That'd be one hell of a touchdown right there.
It's one hell of a touchdown.
That's all I gotta say. That's one hell of a touchdown when that thing hits. But yeah, that's like
I can Well, if they made that today, I can like with almost 100% certainty say someone is gonna yell Kobe before throwing it at the enemy.
no, yeah. I was like, what was the movie? The Three Kings. You ever see it? There's a scene there. One of these redneck guys, he gets shot in the movie. He takes a Nerf football and puts about 4 lines of C4 on it with a ring pull trigger system on it, and he yanks one out and takes out a hind with it. It's like you got you got a multi-million ruble attack helicopter, one redneck with a C4 football.
Yes, Kobe.
Yeah, just send it in. But I think that's gonna be it. I'm sitting over here. I see Leps has gotten on too. Yeah, we were streaming late. It just we needed. I ended up needing technical support, somebody with a little more experience with a certain script, and
Yep.
Grexion has this experience. We got the tank working now, so now it fires its main guns. It's got 2 rocket pods that now fire intermittently or salvo fire each other. It's absolutely terrifying when it starts shooting. And now I've just got to do some detail work. I'm going to put up a couple of,
Uh, Bundy, I don't know if the salvo script will work if they're being controlled by AI. I think they should work.
yeah, it does. You can salvo script. You can
Okay.
put the salvo script on there, and it when one fires, the next one will fire over
Also,
on it.
I just realized something, Badger.
Hmm.
You probably cannot have this thing aim the main gun and rockets with the turret because the rockets are using the same rotation as the main gun.
Oh yeah, but they're just there if something gets too close. They're just going to saturate the area. Like,
Fair
oh
enough.
yeah, you're coming up in your little Humvee to try and use your little missile. Here, have a whole shit ton of rockets.
Yeah.
We now have the joke though, chat of they're too close for cannons, too close for guns, switching to rockets.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing is working out pretty good. It'll be on the workshop as soon as I get it finished. That'll be, I don't know, probably another week or two. I'm giving myself a generous time to get this thing done because, like I said, technical issues like this caused like an entire night to try and fix one problem. Because when Grexion got on here, nothing worked right for like several, I want to say probably for about 30, 40 minutes. We were sitting here trying to figure out how to make this thing work.
The
It's just
main
me.
thing is the setup argument didn't work with when you removed something from a group. You had to literally remove the entire group and create it again,
Yeah.
and then run setup for it to work.
Yeah. That was the wild part. But it's working
And
pretty good. We also had Grexion fired a capital ship grade railgun at it for a little bit, and it took about 2 good shots.
it
It
took,
still
yeah, it
didn't
took
die.
two hits that went straight through.
Yep, just
But here,
holed right through it.
uh,
I thought you hit a hydrogen tank at one point and blew all the hydrogen tanks up, but I get to look and the hydrogen tanks are still there.
I
So
think if I had managed to hit the rotor for the tracks, then it probably would have been. It could probably still fire the gun, but like movement would probably have been disabled.
and it might have been.
Yeah.
It'd probably be limping across the battlefield.
Yep.
But this is one of those things I want to try and get in there with like was it Xylo who does the one thing where he goes in there and they do like a whole bunch of showcasing, bunch of people show up, he does a live stream, people start showing off what they make. This is something I want to bring in there and show off.
Yep.
Yep. So it is like the Command and Conquer Mammoth. You can see several of them in the background here. Just several experimentations just been working on. This one is the one we finished. I think I've got one more here as a copy just in case this one clangs out and blows up for some reason. But yeah,
It's
that's
also when I help people with stuff like this script or how I also helped you with your missile to make
yeah,
it fire without triggering any of the other missiles. Makes me kind of want to make like stupidly simple how-to videos for space engineers on YouTube. Is like, do you want to fire a missile? Here's a very stupid, simple solution to that issue.
yeah. It's one of the things I do with my channel is that was how a lot of that stuff got started. Like the sec when I got back into doing YouTube, that was what I started doing. Was I was like, okay, we'll do like a help video, and I came up with a way to do a scriptless solar deal, and everyone liked it, but one person who then said I stole it from some other guy. I was like, I said, look, one, I handled it pretty. I said, look, one, there's a reason why the sword looks like it does in every country. We all came up with a pretty similar idea. I said, two, it's called space engineers. You have to engineer things. And that's what happened. I kind of came up with, apparently,
And
me and this
also,
other guy came up with the same concept. His way of doing it
yeah, and
was to put,
also, like most of the times, also if someone makes a functional system, other people will copy it because it works,
yeah.
and they will make the same thing because it works.
Well,
And
that was kind of the that was kind of the thing of I came up with a I came up with a spear. Turns out some other guy came up with a spear. This it happens more often than you think. Um, Rainbow anodizing on blades. For about 6 years, there was one guy that knew how to do it, never shared his secret with it, and then the guy that I learned how to do bladesmithery from when I was younger, I got an introductory class to it. He discovered it, and for about 12 years, there were two guys that knew how to do rainbow anodizing. Neither one of them had told the other one how to do it. There are situations where someone just comes up with an idea, and then later on, somebody else will come up with the same idea, and it's just two guys came up with the same thing. But
yep,
I found that little comment from that dude kind of hilarious. I was like, bro, one, I didn't steal jack shit.
yeah, that's the thing I've noticed with a lot of people when they go like, "Oh, you stole this." Like, I'm showing how this works.
Yeah. I haven't had that happen where I'm showing how something works and then someone says I'm stealing something. And as soon as that happens, I'm going to be like, no, 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 no. We already know this happens. I'm just doing a video, getting the information out there. That's all it is. A lot of times it's just, and I like that, but with YouTube is, I tell other people this. They're like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'll just pick a video someone else has done and then just say, yeah, this is a technique that you can use. And because not everyone's going to watch the same channel.
Yeah,
There's
also
people are going to be watching
as
different
Steve
channels.
says, certain things you have to work that way.
Yeah, Leps is right on that. Certain things just work that way.
Yeah, it's also, as he said before, it's also the reason why Stealth Fighter all kind of look the same.
Yeah, I remember some dude talking about that. Said stealth just ruined aviation because everything looks like a stealth fighter now.
Yep, or everything needs to incorporate stealth.
Yeah. The how's Christmas been to everyone? Oh, good. I got man suspenders for Christmas. With that, I mean I got a shoulder holster with a for my 1911 with two spare mag holsters on the other side. So, and that's been nice because instead of wearing, I like wearing my gun on my hip, but the shoulder holster puts it up there where nobody can really see it. And so for like everyday carry or work carry, it's up there. If I'm just me and the missus and we're going out and doing something, I'll probably wear it on my hip because it's easier to get to on my hip than it is on the shoulder holster because I got to reach around to get it. Whereas on the hip, I can just reach down and get it. And I'm more accustomed, really, it's training. I'm more accustomed to reaching down, ripping the pistol out of the holster, and then putting it back in. And there's tricks to doing that stuff, putting it in a holster and taking it back out so you don't look like who was the one woman in the Secret Service who was sitting out there after Trump got shot and she's trying to put her gun back in her holster and she doesn't. She's trying to drop
Yeah.
it straight in. And the holster that she's got is a type of Blackhawk. And the Blackhawk holster has a V shape in the front part of the holster. You don't have to try and figure out where it goes. It's kind of like how you ever see a guy put a katana back in a scabbard. They'll
Yep.
put their thumb
It
there and
fits still.
they'll run it across the V till it clicks in, and then they'll put that. Same thing with that. You come in, and you glide the barrel into that V. And when it hits, it just goes into that V. And as soon as you feel that barrel click back to the back of your holster, you just drop it and it goes right in your holster. You can do it fairly quickly. Um, I got taught that by a Marine, and as fast as he could throw his gun in there, it just looked like he just tossed it right into his holster from a didn't even look. And you don't have to look, you don't have to do nothing. And then later on, I figured out um, as soon as I get another pistol, I'm going to get the Rumble account and I'm going to show off this one deal on how to properly shoot two guns at one time because nobody does it correctly and it irritates the fuck out of me. It's always the Hollywood let's shoot one gun after the other until both guns are empty, and that's not an effective way of using it. And the way that I figured out how to do this by incorporating a couple other techniques not only makes using two handguns viable, but is one of those things where it's like, yeah, you'd really be better off with two handguns because you can load one and fire the other one at the same time. You can just keep a consistent level of fire going down range. But I'll have to get another 1911 and another 45 and see how that goes down. And I can't put it on YouTube because YouTube's a bitch right now. So
Yep.
that's the problem with that. But anyway, yeah, the Mammoth is coming along. Grexion helped out. We had a really good time. I did not plan on this being a 3 hour live stream, but that's apparently where we went. So that sometimes it goes the way I want it to, sometimes it don't, and that's just how it works out. So anyway, big hand for Grexion for helping out the Mammoth. So we're now that much further along. I've got a little more armor to put on, do a little more shaping to the entire system, probably add some grooves, some cuts every so often, just a few more bleeding details, and then I'm going to put up. Oh, I also have to put a hatch in the back on top of the turret. But after that's over with, I'll put up something on the net on YouTube, and we'll have a nice little vote on the main color and secondary color of the tank, and then that's what it'll get painted. And then this thing will be up on the workshop pretty soon. But anyway, folks, thank you all for being here. Renegade Bundy's got the last one in there. YouTube has been a bitch for a while now. Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Yep.
That's why I've been doing the membership system and all this other nonsense. For those of you that don't know, we're doing like a membership on the channel. It's 99 cents a month. YouTube does take a cut of it, but you get to see all the videos. And I've got videos going all the way to February right now of all the cool stuff that's happening. Um, yeah, everyone's like '07 right now in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hurry up because it's like 3 o'clock where I am, and I'm gonna have a fun time getting up for work tomorrow. But anyway, thank you all for watching. As usual, I'm Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.